Good morning, everybody. This is not actually IT Live. It's a National Signing Day live stream. I'm here with Eric and Coach Dub. We're going to have Joe and Justin later as well, but those guys are working the board right now as these LOIs come in. We're going to talk through the class. And whenever we're done talking about the class, then the live will be done, but I don't know when that'll be. So as the LOIs come in, we are going to throw up their tape, discuss them, what we know about them, and also break them down. Good morning, Jose. Wakey. We were, in fact, here. We were just chatting. Good morning, Justin. Put down the Pop-Tart and let's get going. Justin wasn't even here, so we cannot blame Justin in this regard.
I could see a Pop-Tart being his breakfast, though.
Yeah, no doubt. You're going just a Monster Energy and a Pop-Tart and just get it cracking, dude. Eric, we're at the $1 for 1 week promo right now, aren't we?
Yeah, $1 1 week.
$1 for your first week, everybody. Come to Inside Texas. We're getting a ton of signups through this weekend, so come join the #1 community in the galaxy right now, according to the #1 community rankings that I happen to run, but I'm also very unbiased in that regard. All right, so first things first, I want to talk about Diabell as I pull up this here video file of this young man. He's an absolute baller. He's been committed for a long time. He gets injured last season, which was an absolute bummer, but he's been a killer. And what was his final ranking? Did he end up #1 quarterback?
No, he's industry ranking #3 quarterback, consensus 5-star. Everybody had him as a 5-star.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of intangible traits that Arch has. He's got some passing traits and athletic traits that Arch has. It's that's kind of been my comp for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed most of his senior year. That's a bummer, but he's kind of got it all. He's got a similar mindset, I think, to Arch. No frills, drama-free. Just one of the guys behind the scenes, even though he kind of grew up a little bit more fortunate with his dad being a former pro athlete, Rajah Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun. If you remember watching Rajah Bell play basketball, and that's back when I still watched basketball, you kind of want that mindset that his dad had in a quarterback. His dad was a dog.
Yeah,
that would be the guy that would D up your #2 guard, and just a hard-nosed player. So here's the only question I really have about D is, of course, experience with quarterback. You always have to get that. Sometimes it's a little rough go in the early going. But then another concern is, he missed his last season ended in injury, hurt ankle. This season he missed most of his senior year as well. So, he's just going to have to stay healthy.
Ooh, look at him navigate the pocket, man. Look, I love Bell's game, man. I don't know. I think he's smooth. Seeing his demeanor, I got a chance to see him at the OT 707 like this past spring, just kind of see him amongst other superstars and how he reacts. And he's a competitor too. So I think he does have that fire from what his dad, he gets that from his dad, of course. But man, I love his tape, man. I love his film, man. He can step up in the pocket. He can throw it any angle. It seems like he can touch every blade of grass. I think he just has that it factor, you know what I mean? Like people are going to follow him. I feel like he's a leader of the class for a reason. But when he gets to campus, man, I think he's gonna absolutely bring it. He's gonna be like, I'm not saying he's Arch, but I'm just saying he's gonna be that type of guy. Like, hey, let's go in the bubble, and let's go throw. Let's go get some routes in, and try to bring those guys along with him.
He's one of the quarterbacks when you watch them just in in a camp setting, you can really see how his feet and his lower half are tied to his upper half. He's just really coordinated, great footwork. Coordinated like you would expect the son of an NBA guard to be. He's kind of got it all. He just has to put it together. And of course, the big question, of course, is stay healthy.
No, most definitely. And it's kind of hard to predict. Some people might say, "Oh, injury prone." Like, I don't believe in that. You never know. Kids grow. A lot of things happen in high school. You never know reason for them getting injured. But hopefully, he can stay healthy at the next level. But I don't have a worry, whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I'm not too worried about it either. It's just, but that's the one thing that could derail him. That it's kind of like when you say that about a guy like Lance Jackson or Nick Townsend, two of our board favorites. It's like, look, just stay healthy and you're going to the league.
Definitely.
Yeah, but incredible functional mobility. Not like exactly. Thank you for that clip right there. But he can run, but he's not looking to run. So I think the Arch Manning comp is very accurate. Great pocket mobility. And he has a whip of an arm, man.
Yeah.
But playmaking like that, those kind of things, he's dynamic. And to play make like that, you see the field well. And the offense here is pretty nice they're doing trips bunches, and also they're doing a lot of kind of college-y looks too. So I always think he lives in California for some reason too. I don't know why. He feels California to me, but He's a Florida kid. But does he throw bombs? Let's see. Yes, he does.
Yeah, they liked a kid out of California to start the cycle. Ended up committing to Penn State, flipped to Virginia Tech. That was one of the first guys they offered. And then they he looked like the kid that was going to be in the class. And then they really got into the weeds on Diabell, and it was over with at that point. One thing I love, my favorite story about Diabell was he was coming to campus for one of those recruiting events in the summer, and his flight got stuck in Dallas, and so he just took an Uber from Dallas to Austin. I think it was like $300. With $300 isn't too bad. So it's nice having that wallet, that credit card in the wallet, but it's, you know, he had the want to do it, and that was before he was committed. That's when we're like, okay, we might as well just say he's coming to Texas now.
Yeah, because a lot of visits is like, I actually can't make it this Saturday because my dog got out. Like, people will find the easiest reasons to not go to these visits, and so for him to be like, nope, I'm gonna make the journey. And he's just been really solid in this class, man. Like, you know, there's some turmoil with this season not looking great. Then the Sark rumors come out and and of course, every time something happens, you got to be like, "What's up, Diabell? What's up?" He's just been really solid. He was also the first one this morning to get his letter of intent in.
Yeah.
And so he's just doing all the right things. He's been really locked in. And as you can see, on top of all these leadership traits, NBA pedigree and a father, he's just a really talented quarterback. And he was at number 2, and then we complained and we were like, come on, man, he's got to be number 1. And then he got to number 1, right? At one point.
He won the Elite 11, and that kind of bumped him up.
He won Elite 11, got bumped up, and then I think probably the season hurt him. They went back with Curtis, and Keyshawn Henderson gets some love too. Keyshawn from right here in North Houston, committed to U of H early, stayed with U of H, is going to do unfair things to the Big 12. But yeah, you know, for Sarks, you know, when I go see all these Houston kids, right? Lagway came out of even further North Houston, really Willis. I go see these kids, and I'm like, man, that's a damn good quarterback, but it's just not quite what Sark is looking for in the vertical passing game. And that's crazy to say because Lagway was really good as a freshman, but you know, there's something that Sark doesn't like about those two guys. They're highly rated, but you know, when you go get Diabell, you can't complain too much.
Will QB run be a factor with him like it is for Arch? Not seeing that much on his tape. He can run. I don't know how much designed, but he can. 100%.
He's ran like 10 times on this tape. It's a functional athlete. You'll call it a time or two. Well, you know, like 3rd and 5 against A&M, put the game away. Yeah, you're gonna just do it sparingly. Now he's not built as thickly and as durably as Arch. He's not quite as big as Arch. Now he's not small by any stretch, 6'3" at least. Not quite as filled out. Like Arch is like a young tight end build.
Yeah.
But Dia's got size and he's got athleticism. Yeah, Sark will never take a quarterback again that can't run.
Yeah, he's made a big change there.
No, I think seeing him in person, he has some, you know, he has a thicker lower part of his thighs are pretty thick, man. Look, he's not a small kid by any imagination. He has some thick thighs on him, so he has some muscle. I think once he gets to campus in a full offseason program at college, I want to see how he builds out. But yeah, he's not a small kid, so I'm not worried about him. He can run the ball. You can use him on QB power near the goal line if you want to. I think we saw it on film here, but I think he can do it at the college level as well.
He throws a nice ball, man. Like the spin on it and everything. Like he has a hell of an arm, and he's got good touch. Yeah. And I just like when he's like working, he'll work hard to get down to a back in front of him and move the pocket, and he's not lazy in what he's trying to achieve either. But just that's very Archie.
Question here is he a beautiful athlete? He is for the quarterback position. Look how it's not just about like, you know, we're not talking Michael Vick here, athlete. Look how well coordinated he is in the pocket. Everything looks super easy to him. Footwork everything comes naturally. Reverse out, reset, throw. I mean, it just comes easy to. It's kind of like when you watch a boxer that has really good footwork. It's just an unfair advantage. He has that sort of boxer-like footwork where he's always on balance.
And just a lot of awareness. Like on a single read, the ball placement's there, but he's worked through progressions. He'll move the pocket to get down to who he wants. Even when he just threw a screen a couple of clips ago, he really baited the line well. Like he's understanding what he's seeing in this high school offense. So kind of the smart player, do you know your system stuff is all there as well. My favorite clip is the first clip where he throws a bomb and it's the wrong read. He throws it into a safety and a corner, but he still fits it right in because he's a baller. But I've absolutely loved his tape all season. And then, of course, his leadership tangibles, what you need in the class. He's hit over the middle. He's hit deep a billion times, and he's completed the short stuff. So let's see this movement.
Yeah. I like his ball protection, too, working in the pocket. He has two hands on it, moving like most quarterbacks don't. They don't know what they're doing. They just kind of hold it out there, but he has it. Two hands on the football, working through traffic to, set up the throw.
And he works to set his feet. Even when he's rolling out on like getting a scramble or whatever, he's still not just rolling out and just kind of slinging it. Like he'll get his feet back under him. He does a lot of this where he works to the check down. There we go. Some RPO.
Yeah.
Circle like that.
That's an arch one.
Yeah. But the feet are sound, man. And that's probably my biggest trait because you can see who it sounds corny, but it's true. You can see who loves football by quarterbacks by their feet. Because that's very boring, and you have to practice that like day in and day out, and it's not sexy, it's not fun, it's not a fade. And so the feet tell you if a quarterback is disciplined and actually likes football because that's a lot of long hours from being a kid and just doing drops. I want to keep watching this because this tape's sick.
Look at me, yeah. So
see, he can
his running ability, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see him in the design stuff, but I'm really bummed we didn't get the full senior tape. That's probably also a factor why you end up getting dropped later on too, because hard to evaluate against guys that you don't have tape for. But Diabell, awesome grab, been a rock in this class so far. All right, let's see who our next LOI is on this list here. I have them ranked by their rankings. So the next one up is actually Jamarian Carlton. Let's pull old boy up. Gonna have to there's this annoying feature that I have with my browser that doesn't let me close out these videos always.
Yeah, when you see his senior tape, you can really see what people were seeing in him. From a long time ago when he was just a skinny, scrawny sophomore or freshman, man. He's really filled out.
Nobody's profile pics have changed more than Jamarian Carlton's from when he was young. So like now he's got a thick neck, grown up man. The young guy, you're like, all right, he's got talent, but not intimidating at all. Now you see him, he's grown up a lot.
Homer talking about feet, still suffering over years PTSD. You can tell who does the work by it. That's for sure.
No, definitely. Look, man, look, I love Carlton. Temple kind of moved him up and down the line this year. He got to play a little 5-tech, some 3 sometime, but most of the time he was playing edge. But I thought he really brought it this year, his senior year, just kind of honed it on the skills. But you could, like Eric was saying, look at his body. You can tell he's kind of growing up, man. He had a ton of weight. I want to say he's like 265 now. And so but he still kept his explosion, still has a quick first step and gets after it from D line. But man, he's phenomenal. I can't wait to see what he does at Texas.
So his usage is going to be outside in, kind of Ethan Burke. You could probably make a comparison to different high school tape, but we're talking college projection here. If he has that dog in him that Taquan Graham had at Temple, everybody remembers that. Charlie definitely remembers him. Yeah. He's going to be really, really good. Taquan's still in the NFL. Graham had long arms, big hands. You can use those advantages against offensive linemen. Carlton, it's a really encouraging growth curve for him because there's a lot of value in the spin. You take a big guy and you can play him inside as well. You get a lot of bang for your buck because he might not be the greatest edge rusher on standard downs. I don't know. He has that too, but it could change as he keeps putting on weight. But you keep some of that athleticism, you get up to 280 plus pounds, and you move inside on passing downs, and that's a huge element to your game.
He moves like an 80s linebacker. Like he's not fully used to that weight yet. He's gonna have to develop. Now that was some good burst. But he has that kind of like blocky movement. I didn't realize he got that big, dude.
Yeah, well, that changed the whole eval. His evaluation is light years different from when he first came out on the scene as a freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he got that big either. I went to the playoff game versus Duncanville. I was like, man, that looks like a different cat. Looking at his lower body, looking at his legs, he's huge.
What was Baylor feeding him?
Yeah, Baylor is such a bummer because part of the the new AD or whoever's evaluation was like, we're going to keep Aranda because we need to keep the recruits in the class, and then they immediately lost their top 2 recruits
They've lost
to
a ton.
Michigan and Texas, I think. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, this one had this recruitment had its roller coasters in it, but Lealon Clark was the steadying force for Texas and did a really good job. Clark had known him when he was at Ohio State.
Yeah,
and without Lealon Clark, I'm not sure this one gets done.
Yeah, most definitely. I saw him post a tweet saying, relationships matter. It's a picture of them when he took his unofficial visit to Ohio State, I want to say over almost 2 years ago. So, yeah, relationships definitely matter in this one. What most people don't know, I would say this about, he may be a quiet kid off the field, doesn't talk much, but, man, on the field, like, he's loud, he's rah-rah, he's talking trash, like, he's trying to get out there. I saw this guy chase down Keelan Russell from Duncanville from behind from the opposite side. So, for a big kid, man, like, he can actually go. I want to see how he –
how's Temple as a
huge,
program?
man. I would never believe.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I haven't watched this latest tape. This is my first time seeing this, and I'm like, it doesn't even look like the same player.
Yeah, Charlie told me he got bigger. I went to the tape. I'm like, okay, whatever, man, because I didn't see it. And then a totally different player. I would not believe that if you show me this tape when he was a sophomore, I would not believe you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed you as a junior.
How did Temple do as a program this year?
They got to be first round versus Duncanville. They, up and down season.
Fair enough.
Going, but yeah,
I wouldn't like to play Duncanville in the first round much either. So what was the story of him almost being close with us and then going to Baylor and all that?
Proximity. Baylor was more aggressive in modern ways, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But then he went on like 3 straight visits to us or something?
Bandy, Arkansas, and then A&M is like, okay, I see everything I need to see. You kind of see a trend in that way, right? You like 3 home games in a row, like, okay, something's up here. And so I think the whole uncertainty of, Aranda, if he was going to be there or not, that started it. And then, followed, I think, Texas where he always kind of wanted to be. But like you said, Baylor was aggressive. And, but yeah. And in the end, man, I'm glad he's at Texas with Clark, somebody he actually trusts. He's one of those guys, most kids say, I'm looking for a father figure, somebody to kind of grow under. That's what Carlton gets out of Clark. I'm almost like a big brother type. He feel like he just trusts him, and that type of kid, that's who you want. He'll play for you. He'll run through the wall for you.
Plus, man, you want to be in this Texas edge room. I mean, like, what more do you need to see?
I wish I knew how big he was going to get. He might not always be in that edge room the way he's growing.
I was going to say, man, he could be like a really athletic 3-tech if he just keeps on this trend.
Yeah, he could end up being Alfred Collins or something.
Yeah.
I saw somebody compare him to Alfred. It's so crazy to see. I know he wears number 11, so he looks like Graham a little bit, but Graham, like, he ballooned his senior year too. Like, he wasn't that big, and all of a sudden, senior year, before he came to Texas, I think he was like 270. He was like, man, what the world?
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him a couple times, and Graham changed entirely. It's another one. Maybe it's a Temple thing where, Graham looked like a pure edge for much of high school, and then you see the barrel chest, and he just he exploded. Now I looked him up this morning. He's up to like 295 in the league. It's and that's the thing. So he wouldn't be an edge at 270 in the NFL. He just wouldn't be. He wouldn't be athletic enough. But because he kept his athleticism to a certain degree and ballooned to 290, he's an NFL player.
Yeah, what's Carlton at right now? Do we know?
265. He probably lost some weight because he's playing basketball now, run up and down the court. I'm sure he's going to slim down some, but that's about to come to an end once he graduates.
But I like that too, that he's playing basketball. Been up since 2 a.m. waiting for LOIs. There you go. Jose, in a time where recruiting is not as exciting, we still got some actual hardcores out here. All right, let's look at I'm still just shocked how big he got. That's really impressive. All right, let's look at Samari Matthews, who has his in. Who's also been an awesome addition. All right. His tape's short, so I had to pull 2 different ones of him. All right.
Yeah. I'm telling these kids didn't update their final senior season film. Some had mid-season, or just they did it game by game.
Yeah, I hate the game by game ones. I was just looking at Hayward Howard's and I'm like, okay, this doesn't show me anything.
So did Jilek. He had tape and then he deleted them all. And I looked for yesterday. And now he's putting them up by the week, and I'm like, I don't care what you did versus X school for a minute. Like, I want to see the good stuff,
Samari is another one that happens because of a new addition. Lealon Clark helped with Carlton. Samari doesn't happen without Mark Orfe and his pre-existing relationship from when he was at Rutgers. And of course, he was not going to get him to Rutgers just because it's Rutgers. This kid was probably destined to go to South Carolina. South Carolina puts out some athletes. But because Orfe came to Texas, had a different logo on his shirt, we got him in the door, and shoot, done deal. It didn't hurt that South Carolina struggled a lot too.
Yeah. He's another kid I met on the 7-on-7 circuit when he was here in Dallas. Like, he loved Texas before Texas loved him. Like, he was always intrigued about Texas. And one of his kids, like, I can't wait to get down. I want to go visit Texas. I know they develop DBs. They put them in the NFL. Like, if you want to go to the NFL, Texas is the place that you want to be. And then he went on his visit in the spring, and he absolutely loved it. He got to see spring practice. Everything about Austin just intrigued him and his family. He came back for his official visit in June, and he was like, yeah, this is the place I want to be. So I'm glad he stayed in class. I know South Carolina, made a push for him, trying to get him to stay close to home. But, man, I absolutely love this kid. Just watching him play. He understands situations, where he's at on the field. If he's in the red zone, keeps his toes on the goal line, doesn't give up much ground. I saw him play slot. I saw him play safety. I saw him play corner, moving around trying to cover the best athletes. So I love his demeanor. He wants to smoke. That's his nickname for a reason. Like, he doesn't mind lining up against the best and going at it.
Just going to be a boundary corner at Texas, in my estimation, and a good one. Plenty of length, plenty of size, plenty of physicality.
Yeah, I was going to say his man reps, he's up in their face and he's making contact and trying to disrupt their play. He has good turn and run ability there. Yeah, I was worried towards the end because there was talk of, South Carolina schools or Carolina schools coming in the mix, and luckily we were able to hold them off.
I think they were cooked when their season was poor.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. No, I like this kid. He does his homework too. He's one of the first kids to mention, like, if you look at Texas DB room, they're recruiting a lot of guys that look like me, right? So I mean, they love me. Like, okay, they like this kind of profile, athletic profile. I'm a tall, long corner. That's what Texas likes. I fit what they want, so that's why not go there. Most kids don't pay attention to small things like that.
He keeps shoving kids out of bounds. And
Justin Wales says 6-star Jermaine Bishop Jr. is in. That 6-star is an inside joke because early in the process, I was asking one of our sources at the time. It was Jalen Lott, Jermaine Bishop. I was like, hey, man, I really like Jalen Lott. What do you think about? I think he's a 5-star. This was when he was still viewed as a corner. And I go, what do you think about Jermaine Bishop? He goes, well, if you think Jalen Lott is a 5-star, Jermaine Bishop is a 6-star. And we've seen how Jermaine blew up this year.
Yeah, he's minus Dia, probably my most exciting addition this year.
Nah, man, Bishop is special. Like, he's doing it all.
Numbers are crazy this year too.
Willis, like, I think he has multiple games where he has like 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, it's ridiculous, man. He gets it done offense, defense, special teams. Like, he's just an instant spark waiting to happen. The last game versus Forney in the playoffs, man, you can see him, like, he's catching the ball, he's scoring touchdowns, he's returning kicks, and then he's landing the hit stick. I think he made Javion Osborne fumble near the goal line. I mean, absolutely just crushed him. And so this kid, even though he's small, he's very physical for his size, man. I love this kid, man. He's he call him Batman. He's another kid. He just fits, man. It was one of those guys, like, he's special. I think he may be one of the best peer, I guess, prospects that Sark has signed since his tenure at Texas. If you ask me, like, he's up there, top 5 maybe to me.
Yeah, he's Jalen Waddle.
Well, I was saying Sark is seeing these screens getting housed, and it's just like, yep, all right, pay him $45 million. It's how he's making those first guy miss are embarrassing for them.
Yeah, Waddle could have been an NFL corner. Obviously, he didn't want to take the ball out of his hands. Jermaine could be an NFL corner if he need to put on some more weight, of course. But of course, you don't want to take the ball out of his hands either. He's just so dang productive. But he can play either side. Just a true. You could have him as an athlete designation. That's fine. But it's going to be, oh, here's my favorite. Boop, there he goes. And he cuts. Yeah, that's a big pickup, man.
I want him as an athlete, man. Play him at wide receiver, like.
Yeah, he's going to be. Yeah, he will be. He was originally being recruited as a corner, and that's why this class doesn't really have a field corner in it.
Yeah,
because it was originally going to be him. But they switched the designation. He's just too good with the ball in his hands. Hopefully this year, punt return is probably going to come down to if Niblett, schools are going to come after Niblett. But let's say the punt competition opened up, it would probably be Bishop versus Dalen McCutcheon for it. So So, that can be one way he can make an immediate impact. And then maybe on some of the gadget reverse stuff, slot screens, that sort of thing. Boom. He's little, be throwing his body around like that, or light.
Yeah, but Sark's gonna absolutely love the reverse ability and the screen ability and the interceptions.
Yeah, definitely. And people don't realize he's doing it at the 6A level too. Willis is 6A. They're the top division in football. And he's doing it versus some of the top athletes too. So Willis, he's not doing it versus small 3A, 4A football either.
And he's been productive since high school. I mean, he had like 18 touchdowns as a sophomore or something crazy. He was Lagway's number one target when Lagway was a senior.
I told you my number one recruiting metric is WTFs per minute, and this guy has high WTFs per minute. That's how you can tell the tape's good. His acceleration is really remarkable, and his change of speed. There's times where he's jogging it because he knows that he needs to turn it up. He'll start off from a walk and then get going. He has a really good understanding of his speed and how to turn it on. A really good control there instead of just everything's a dead out sprint. But everything he does on those screens, man, he makes that first guy miss no problem.
It's with ease. One thing I loved about him, he has the old Roy Williams tape. Every time he scores, he gives them an old hook. So I can tell he's been locked in for a while.
Who are the main competitors?
Texas it was pretty much Texas. A&M tried.
Yeah.
It was the kid was not going to go far away from home because it wasn't going to go far away from Texas. It was just lined up that way.
He just grew up a fan?
Yeah, that was the school he wanted to go to.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had him locked in as a lean for a very long time.
Yeah. All right, cool. Y'all ready to go for the next one?
Yeah, let's keep going, man. We're going to be out of time before we get like five guys
There's
in.
no such thing as out of time, brother. We got all the time in the world. Let's do Hayward Howard. Unfortunate backwards name. He was so close to having.
I haven't seen a lot of his tape is not his senior tape is not great in the way of, like as far as viewing.
Let me see what I have for him before I went with junior. See what tape I pulled.
He was Orphe's first commit, and it was a sign that Orphe just really likes length. Take him as a corner, take him as a potential star, get the class going. He was originally offered by Terry Joseph. Big added benefit of this class, of this take, is he's an Edna Carr, and you want to be an Edna Carr. You gotta work those hallways. It's going to be a little bit tougher with Lane Kiffin at LSU, but that's a really talented school every year. Getting Hayward in the class early was a good pickup.
Yeah, I like Howard. I like his demeanor. He's one of the few kids told me on a special visit, I'm bringing my pen and paper with me. I'm taking notes. I want to make sure that everything I learn, I have, so I can go back and study and make sure I do my full detailed report on Texas. That lets me know what kind of kid he was, and that let me know what kind of kid he'd probably be in the film room too, right? If you can learn to take notes and study, you can apply that stuff, and I think it translates to everything you do. So I love the fact that maybe he'll study his opponents the exact same way.
What was it Rouse, the linebacker, that had made a full chart of pros and cons? He went to Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
He had a very analytical, emotionless process that I thought was.
We don't really want to talk about the guys that Texas had a bad process on. That one hurts. That kid is a baller.
He was a baller. Let's see what we got here.
That's a minute, man. We got to stretch out. Go get him.
Yeah.
No, man, you can't come from Edna Carr and not be a dude. Like they breed some toughness, right? I think he's gonna bring some of that swagger to Texas, man. Edna Carr has a great program.
Well, he's got a full-grown man name,
I know, and it should be Howard Hayward. Sounds like he would invent jetcraft and planes at that point. But this tape is good? Are you talking about a different tape?
Well, this is his junior tape.
This is junior.
Yeah. What was wrong with his senior tape? It was by game.
Yeah, it's here's 5 seconds of playing whatever, Lake Charles something. I don't know.
I always thought, I was like, if I want to make extra money back before I was doing channels and stuff, I was like, man, I'll just make these guys highlight tapes, because half the time they don't get it. and they're not showing like the correct highlights that the coach is actually looking for, and then they're just packaging it wrong and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sometimes, and they'll have like, they'll show them backing away from the line, looking over at the sideline to get the play for like 10 seconds. It's like, dude, cut that out of there, man.
Yeah, cut that out of there.
Go.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll like show a quote unquote big play, but they actually messed up, and it just their athleticism kind of saved them. So there's other ones too that are pretty interesting. But that was a good grab. He was early.
Yeah,
he was doing one of the. You guys were talking to him in one of the parking lots in one of our early recruiting visits. I'm excited about that. Who else is at this school? Isn't there another big name?
Yeah, Richard Anderson is there.
Anderson. Okay, yeah.
And Aiden Hall, the safety, and the D tackle that are going to LSU. Leonard Fournette is from Edna Carr, right? Was it Edna Carr? Oh, he's St. Aug. Oh, he was St. Aug.
They look the same color, I think.
Yeah,
it's so close.
Same. Yeah. A lot of guys come out of Edna Carr.
A ton.
All right. Let's go to the next one. Who's next on my list? Wide receiver, Chris Stewart. Remove from studio.
Hey, first commit in the class. Shadow Creek kid. Shadow Creek's a talented school. Great coaching staff down there. I really like the take. He has good play speed, very versatile, good hands. I don't think he does anything super flashy that's gonna really blow people away. Had a very big spring on the 7-on. Well, look how quick he gets into his route there.
Yeah.
Had a very big spring on the 7-on-7 circuit. I think he's gone under the radar. I'm glad that Texas fought to keep him. Had to hold off Tennessee. Josh Heupel wants him for that offense. That's a good sign.
Look at that punter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
big dog.
Yeah,
Love it.
That's got to be like Pasadena or something.
Yeah, he ain't chasing anyone down.
Is it Pasadena? Oh, he's going.
He can move.
He
tried. He had about 2 seconds in him, but he tried.
Oh man, that guy. That's the kid you need to make a huddle tape for.
Yeah, dude. Legendary.
Just run in space and then see where he goes from there. And here you go later. I always thought he was. I don't know what his track times ever ended up being. I don't think he even ran track later in high school. But I always figured that kid was pretty dang fast based on tape.
He's another one of those kids. He may go under the radar, but when he gets to campus, they're gonna see the knowledge of game and route running. Right? He trains with Eric knows this guy, Deshae Milburn. So I feel like when he gets to campus, he's almost. I'm not calling him Dalen McCutcheon, but when he gets there, he had nuances of route running and playing receiver down. Once he gets to campus, he'll be ahead of the curve than a lot of people.
He's finding space well.
Yeah, and you notice that he's a good punt returner too. So he sets a really high floor. In this class, the theme for this class, well, let's answer Coach Bedford here real quick. Coach Bedford asks, are we signing a big back, not a scat back, but a real physical back? Yes, he's gonna really like Derek Cooper. Yes, Derek Cooper from Florida is your guy, Coach. We'll get to him. We're waiting to see if these LOIs come in. We're not really worried about him. He's been committed a long time, but he is big and he is fast. Just an elite combination of size and speed. Maybe not the most nuanced running back of all time. Coach, you might remember Tonell Carter was a little bit of a vertical hit the lane and go back. He's a bigger version of that, but I think he's got more nuance than Tonell and probably better mental makeup as well.
Yeah.
What cracks me up when you look at the LOIs come in, almost all of our lower rated recruits, LOIs immediately in. And then all the higher rated guys are like, I don't know, man, I'll get there whenever.
Yeah, but Stewart can play inside, outside. He's just a good all around player.
Yeah.
He's smooth. I like Stewart a lot.
The wide receivers were interesting this class because they were a little bit different than our normal kind of like Sarkisian mold. They were more, I think Chris Jackson had more of a say there, right? They're kind of more like wide receivery, finding space, routes, that kind of stuff that I enjoy opposed to pure athlete right here. Let's see if he sets up a safety well. No, he just runs right by him, which is also a good trait.
Yes. Over here looking for nuance. Oh man! There was that receiver that went to Jaquez Petaway. I had the same revelation. I'm like, man, all this guy does is run past people. I'm like, okay, well, that's really good too, right?
Yeah, he was man on man with that safety. I was like, oh, he's about to put a move on him, and then he just
Yep.
goes.
Yeah. We're over here looking for some dialed in nuance, and it's just how he just runs past people.
Yeah. Let's see, Greg. First time tuning in to you guys. Appreciate how y'all don't argue and yell constantly like others that do cover Texas. We'll definitely be subscribing. Appreciate you, man. Glad to have you.
It's huge.
So Arch starts next year. Then what?
Whoever wins that battle, KJ Lacey's going to have a whole year in the system. Yeah, Gia Bell's going to be knocking rust off this whole year and learning the playbook and going up against making that transition that every high school has to make. Every high schooler has to make to go into college. So I'm not writing off KJ Lacey. Everybody wants to go with the the more heralded recruit. That's pretty much status quo.
Yeah.
I learned a lesson when Sark started Mac Jones over Bryce Young, and Young was a true freshman as opposed to Diabell being a redshirt freshman most likely. He's just going to play the guy that knows the playbook, and experience is important to him. And Mac lit it up for him because he had the really good support structure around him.
All right.
So I'm not writing off KJ Lacey. I know everyone wants to hear Diabell is going to blow him out of the water and come in and throw for 30 touchdowns true freshman year. That's just not how it works. So we'll see. But Dia could win it, especially having a year in the system. But KJ is going to have a pretty good advantage having a couple years in the system and probably some playing time this year or next year.
Also, KJ Lacey's no slouch.
Not at all.
He's a
But
dynamic.
that's what you want in
athlete.
the quarterback room.
Yeah,
You need
exactly.
the competition in the quarterback room. Push each other. That's what it's about. I don't want somebody that's not going to push me in the QB room.
Hey, should we bring up Teray Davis since Vance Bedford's talking about him? Because that kid is a lot of fun.
We will.
Yeah.
Teray Davis is the only player I've ever seen that got a targeting penalty on an interception he made. So that was his sophomore year, I believe. Just like a really
unfortunately, that's not on tape. Damn.
Yeah,
all right.
sophomore year, a buddy sent it to me. A buddy of mine's on that coaching staff up there that knows him well. Just people have talked about him being sort of like Grayson Littleton as far as somebody that just totally flew under the radar, but is a baller. I think because he was in Colorado outside of Boulder, he flew under the radar, but he's a long kid. Affects the game on offense, defense, has thrown for touchdowns, punted for them when they needed to. Just a really good all-around athlete. And then on top of it, he's long, multi-sport athlete. Dad played football. Just a really interesting player, physical, highly coachable. I think they got a steal. This kid's going to play safety for Texas.
Yeah, I like his film. Connor, you would love his film. Man, you see this guy play safety, he's in the slot, he plays receiver, then he's playing like wing back, like in the options. Like, man, this kid does it all for this team. But I absolutely love his film. The way he breaks on the football, you can tell he has an understanding of route concepts. Doesn't panic whatsoever. You can see he breaks on the ball so smooth, not afraid to come down in the alley and make a tackle, stick his neck out there. So I like this kid a lot. I can't wait to see how he kind of grows at Texas. But he can play center field, he can play that free safety or strong safety down in the box, whatever you need him to do. But you see how he kind of breaks on the ball. Playing receiver, he has excellent ball skills. When he catches the football or interception, man, he's looking to score, man. He has some elite skills with that.
And sometimes they have the drone filming, and I appreciate anybody that's got the drone going. Ooh. He's good at safety. He stays flat-footed. He makes his reads, too. And like you said, he triggers fast. I don't see a lot of panic in his game. I'm trying to look for safeties that look sure and confident at the high school level because it's about to get much more
about
confusing.
this for a comp for anybody watching the Texans this year? That Bullock kid, Bullock, I liked a lot. He was out of Pasadena, I think. Went to USC, drafted by the Texans, is having a really, really good year, like sort of a Pro Bowl year for sure. But a longer kid that played both sides. Safety is the best spot. The wide receiver ball skills obviously come into play when the ball's in the air. The length, the speed, the range, the tracking. Just really, really good player prospect.
Y'all see the drone? It's nice. The drone's real nice.
Yeah, Colorado got its Skycam.
Yeah, guys, break out the drones, man. It's worth it.
Boom.
That read where he just shut down his receiver, knocked him to the ground, and then went and made the play and smacked that dude out of bounds. That was an excellent play.
We had two really good people dial us in on this one. Greg Biggins, who covers for Rivals out west, knows Teray very well, was effusive in his praise. And then my buddy that's on that coaching staff just, talked about the coachability of the kid. When you see all this athleticism and then he's not a diva, takes every rep in practice, will do whatever the coaches ask. And then you see the athleticism. It's like, oh, man, okay, so So what's actually missing? This kid is probably an NFL player, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's physical too, man. But like from the safety spot, like he's super under control. And in a couple reps or clips ago, he meets a back at full speed and he's at standstill and he stands him up. That matters too. He's done a lot of really good stuff on this tape so far.
No, definitely.
What's Coach Bedford doing watching Colorado kids live? You living up in Colorado, Coach? Hanging out with Dion up there?
Vance just traveling the nation. He's just scouting, man.
Vance across the globe.
Yeah, you can see this kid's big too, man.
He is big. Yeah, he might be like a safety neighbor. Well, I ain't gonna say Elliott didn't have any receiver tape coming out of high school, but man, he plays a little bit like Deshaun did, or it looked like Deshaun did coming out of high school.
The drones at those games don't entrance me because I've talked about it before. Like, this is the cool normal usage of drones, and then it's just like China on your shoreline with like surrender and all drone. That's all I think about is like, until these can be used in such a scary way. I do not like the drone shows. They're a precursor to not good things. Work with FCA as a character coach at Fort Collins High School. We played them. Dude, Fort Collins is awesome. I love Fort Collins. That's a great town.
I think I'm showing his speed after the catch, man. He got some ability. I think, like you see, he's underrated, but he's going to be I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
He's on easy mode a lot. And, it took me a while to understand that, but he turns it on there, but everything was easy until that. And he's like, all right, I'll hit the jets and then I'll shut it down again. It's like some of these guys are making plays and it looks like they're going 80%.
But that was Bishop. Like, that's what I was talking about. Like, they know how to actually use their skills when they need it, when they don't. Because change of acceleration is just as important,
Change of direction opens up the stride. I mean, kid's a baller. All right, who we got next?
We got Nicholas Robertson. But before we do that,
Nick Robertson, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
Let's hear a word from Academy. The holiday season is here, and Academy Sports and Outdoors has the legendary gifts you need at undefeatable prices every day. Shop in store or online at academy.com to save on gifts on everybody's list. From football jerseys and basketball hoops to fire pits and deer stands, the most wonderful time of the year happens here. This Christmas, give the gift of fun from Academy Sports and Outdoors. Thank you, Academy. Gentlemen, let me pull up old Robertson here from the video vaults.
Road grader. Yeah, Justin Wells, you're absolutely right about this. Watching Robertson's film, man, what I love is for a kid his size, he can absolutely move, man. He doesn't come off the field much. They go no huddle. He's ready to get to the line of scrimmage and go hit somebody in the mouth again, man. I like this kid a lot.
Boom. Yeah, this is junior tape too. Played a lot of left tackle, which, you want to see some of the athleticism. Obviously, he's going to be an interior player. Just look at his body.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about him is, I went to the Under Armour camp where they test all these kids on athleticism. I didn't get his tape, but I watched 35 offensive linemen run, and some of these guys are like 260 pounds. Kennedy Brown was there, the 5-star in the 2027 class. Nobody ran prettier than this big dude. It was crazy. It was a sight to see. He was the world's biggest sprinter on that day. Very coordinated. It's just, you want to see that sort of athleticism. It was really shocking. And I don't know what his time was, but if you go to ESPN rates very highly for what they can measure. And I guarantee you ESPN is the highest on him. They have him as a 4-star. It's because of how he tested. And so that's always encouraging when you already see the size and the temperament.
Yeah.
Where's he play at?
He's at Klein.
Yeah.
North Houston. He's going to be a guard at Texas. So you don't. This is a low guard class because the roster is obviously heavy with them. They need tackles, and so he's playing tackle here, but he'll be a guard. That's a good rep right there.
Yeah, it is.
He'll be a guard in high school or in college.
Yeah, we need some of that nastiness. Mean streak on the offensive line of Texas, man. You put him in interior, run right behind him, man. Let him in some gap schemes, let him block down or get up to the second level, and he's going to crush linebackers. He's going to move people out the way. So definitely a road grader, something we need in the interior.
Yeah, hopefully an eventual replacement for DJ Campbell Need to do him a little bit of talking like DJ was doing to these rivalry games this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's news breaking that Chris Kleiman's stepping down at K-State, and Colin Klein just to lift, clean, and replace for you golf fans of getting Colin Klein out of A&M to Manhattan, Kansas. We'll see which direction Mike Elko goes with his offensive coordinator. That's what we care about the most. But Colin Klein and K-State, I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Whenever
that's not like Kalani Sitake to Penn State.
That's like perfect. That's like probably what he dreamed about his whole life. Appreciate you, Roaster.
That's going to help them that's going to help them recruit too. That's just Colin Klein's going to carry weight in that region.
Yeah, but I am excited to see what they do offensively next. All right, let's also look next in our list. Coach, you're gonna like this. John Turntine letters in. So let's talk some.
There we go.
Turntine. All right, getting these videos off is a chore sometimes. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why.
Has his junior film up as well, but
all right,
Turntine, man, look, I love this kid from the beginning. I loved his demeanor. He was kind of a no nonsense kid, man. He came to camp. He's one of those kids that have to come to camp and earn an offer, but he wanted to come and work and learn under Coach Flood, right? He wanted to see how he coached, how he developed. He was doing his homework, and he loved the way he taught and developed guys. And so, man, he came to camp and he's like, man, I love this. I love the way they coach. I love the atmosphere. I love the culture around here. He's like a kid that's profiled Texas from the beginning. I think it fits for him because he had a sister who just graduated from UT. Now she's in grad school, has older brother and sister who's at Houston Tillotson down the street. Like, it's just the perfect fit for the family in totality. For Turntime, I absolutely love the kid. If he plays tackle, he plays guard. He doesn't care. He just wants to block people, move people off the line of scrimmage. So I absolutely love this. I'm glad that he's in the class.
Yeah, one of my biggest regrets was meeting them at junior day. They were sophomores and not RPMing him immediately. Dad's like, at the time, he's ranked like number 6 in the class. I know a Texas family when I see a Texas family, and that is a Texas family. You see the quickness off the ball, off the pull. We saw Texas pull the tackle more this year than in previous years. That's enticing. The biggest question here is, when he first came on the scene, he was about 285 pounds. Now he's about 265. He got into P90X or something at the house, and he's leaned up a lot. I wonder if they don't just try him out freshman year as a blocking tight end.
Please.
Just to get him out there. First, that'll help him at left tackle tremendously long term. So hopefully I hope they give that a good look, because it's going to take some time to put that weight back on. Not as long as people might think, just because he's, when you make a concerted effort with his sort of genetics, you can put on weight pretty dang quick. But he's not going to be ready this year to play offensive line. He won't have to be, because Trevor Goosby's very, very likely coming back. And if not, they'd go to the portal to get an experienced guy. But you can't have him on the bench for 2 years. So he's got to play in his second-year player.
Yeah, he's got to get up to probably gain 50 over this next 2 years.
I mean, I don't know. He's one of those kids. He'll do whatever they tell him to do. Nutrition. If I have to eat this many calories, whatever, he's going to do whatever it takes. So I love the fact that he was already reaching out. Hey, what can I do about my weight? How can I gain weight? Like, hey, don't worry about that till you kind of get to Texas. Like, we got you. We're not worried about how much you weigh. Like, some people were worried. Oh, is he sick or what's going on? He's losing a ton of weight. But he was like, hey, my metabolism's sped up. I don't know what to tell you, but he's dedicated. So whatever they tell him to do, he's going to be doing.
Well, I mean, if there's any coach that you would think you'd want to sign off on it being okay, it's Kyle Flood and his fetish for large humans. Kyle Flood's got that shallow Hal thing going on where he sees everybody as being gigantic. Turntime's going to put the weight on. It's just, he's got to keep the athleticism and the mentality, everything else will come together. He's got it to be a really, really good left tackle. But they've got to speed that up though, because they can't have him on the bench for more than a year.
Yeah, he has the reverse shallow Hal. He sees skinny people, and if he sees them as their big version, opposed to the big version, sees them for who they are. Flo was like, what if this person weighed 300 pounds? That's what I see in him. But glad we got the LOI in. I know with down the stretch, right, A&M was pushing hard there too.
Michigan,
yeah. This kid, man, I'm glad he's in the class. Yeah, he took its official visits. I know A&M and Michigan they gained a lot of ground quickly during the official visit, but I'm glad he took his official visit to Texas and, chose where his heart was the whole time.
All right, let's get some Cohen Brown popping for the people right now. I really like Cohen Brown.
This is a fun one from the evaluation side of it. Projection. That's why I got into recruiting, was for this. I didn't like it wasn't about the drama. It was just like the evaluation, projecting where this guy's going to be, who's a good comp for him. Yeah, this is important. The tape matters, but this kid's build matters as well. You've got to see pictures of him. He is a thick kid. He's got a linebacker neck. You don't see a lot of wide receivers with a linebacker neck.
But he's a wide receiver's wide receiver. That's why I like him, man. Like, his routes are nice. His hands are strong. Like, he has good movement ability. Like, Cohen Brown's actually one of my favorite players in this class.
Yeah, he got a mentality to go along with it. He got a linebacker's mentality to go along with it. Like, you'll see him. He's one of Emmett Mosley. He'll block some guy out of bounds and let him know about it too. Like, stand over you, maybe try to step on you at the same time. Like, he has that kind of mentality. I love this kid. He's doing it all for Waxahachie. Follow up his junior season with a phenomenal senior season. They're still playing in the playoffs, so I think they play Duncanville this coming weekend. But man, Cohen's absolute stud. I mean, he's putting in the work in the offseason. He trains with Margin Hooks now, so he's trying to learn all the nuances of playing receiver and get that down. And so, I mean, I like the kid a lot, man. He's just one of those kids you want in the class. He's a tough guy. You know what I mean? You need some of those on the team, but he also can play football. So,
yeah, I wonder a little bit about him at safety. Because hey,
Eric just stole my thunder.
Hey, I am. I mean, look at that straight line speed. Goodness gracious! Yeah. I wish Coach maybe Bedford's still watching, but I wonder about him being sort of a Deshaun Elliott type of dude. Deshaun Elliott
right here.
Deshaun Elliott was awesome turning guys over, and then really good after the interception. Cohen and you just see that body type, and I think of a defensive player, man.
I don't. I disagree with it. I know, but I disagree with that. I think the guy's like a sound wide receiver. He's guys have probably seen
sound wide receiver.
Yeah, but it's like that's where I like. And Justin, you've probably seen him in game. I'm only seeing highlights, right? So you probably know more there.
Well, Charlie's actually seen him in game more than anybody. But I'm just telling you, I always thought he was a good-looking receiver prospect, great tape. And then the safety thing got put in our head, and we're like, "Oh my God, that looks like a Drew Kelson. Yeah. That looks like a holy moly. That dude can like bring a hat." So
look, I thought him play lineup at receiver, then go play DB and cover Booby Feaster all night at DeSoto. I was like, okay, he got some DB skills. So
imagine a backfield with Torrey Davis and Cohen Brown, where the Texas's safeties are better than the opposing team's wide receivers.
That is funny.
You know they're going to be physical, E. You know they're going to be – those two guys bring hat on a regular basis.
I don't know. I'm just glad he's in the class. I'm glad that whatever happened with him in USC didn't work out. I'm glad he's in the class. He's really fun. Just kind of an uncommon guy. It's going to be fun to see how his career takes.
Ryan Hartline takes the South Florida job.
Really? Cool. So Ohio State.
Holy moly!
Yeah, Chris Kleiman. We just need to do a coaching show revamp just to talk about all this. Man, that's a good moment for Texas, right? Get Hartline out of Texas as far as recruiting.
Yeah.
Let me call Chris Henry Jr. real quick.
Well, the thing about Hartline is like he hasn't. What I like about him is he keeps getting promoted. And when you talk to him, he's like, none of this is my plan. Like he was just like, I don't have like this overarching goal, which shows to me he's just so competent. People are like, no, you're the guy. And he's like, okay, you're the guy. Like that's someone you actually want who just without being like actually a ladder climber is just doing so well. He keeps getting promoted. I actually think I was waiting who's going to be the first one to pull the trigger on him because I think it's the right decision, but everyone's too nervous to do it. So I like that hire, and I'm really interested to watch that now.
South Florida is a good spot for him. It seems kind of counterintuitive, but Ohio State's done well in that part of the world. That's what's made Ohio State so competitive on the national landscape. They button up their nearby locations, and then they're able to go down to Florida and get some speed. So that's interesting.
But also with Hartline, like his window of taking these opportunities. If he's going to be a head coach at some point, he's got to take one of these jobs. He's been mentioned for 3 or 4 years now, different openings coming up. I really think he was in a position where it's like now or never. Either you take that head coaching job now, or you're going to be an assistant for life.
Yeah, he's taking a position from a coach that's on an upward trajectory. You know, it's a whole different thing to go get your first time head coaching job when the guy just left for Auburn. You know the program's being left in a good spot. He's not getting a rebuild. Now it's, hey, put 2 good years together, and he's off to a school like Auburn as well, if he can pull it off. Now I'm just curious, what in the hell is Penn State going to do? That's just
they have the 129th ranked class.
Can you imagine covering Penn State recruiting today? 5
commits.
It'd be like that John Travolta meme where he's just kind of looking around the room. There's nobody there.
Pulp Fiction.
All right, give me 2 seconds, gentlemen. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to bring Joe on, and then I'll be right back. Probably less than 2 minutes. I'm talking probably 30 seconds here, but let me bring Joe on.
Can I talk to the guys while you're gone?
Sure, Justin. You're allowed to talk while I'm gone.
Because I'm going to interrupt everybody.
Go for it. Let me get you guys fired up on your next player, though. And it's Kosi Okpala, who just signed his LOI.
This is a future edge. Just ask
I
Eric.
was going to say, now we can argue about linebacker versus edge, gentlemen, while I'll return shortly.
Can he just be Trey Moore?
Yeah, that's what I said. Trey Moore, Brad Spence. Okay, so that is a freaking pass rusher.
Yeah.
That is a Puma lying in wait. That's Colin Simmons' closing speed. So debate me all you want. Here's 24/7 put him up in the top 100. And that's a bit risky because if he transitions to linebacker, then there's just so much to learn. You don't know how it's going to play out. Can you read and react and all that other stuff? But, man, just as a pure pass rusher, he's awesome.
His explosiveness, I feel like has increased this season.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's always been. It's just he's maturing, getting stronger, and with that, he's going to get more explosive. He also has a really good knack of when to go for the strip.
And y'all remember who one of his high school coaches is, correct? Rashad Bobineau over at Maiden Creek.
Yeah. I forget where all the former Texas linebackers are at. There's quite a few of them all over the place.
He's moved around.
There's a lot of old Texas linebackers that are coaches.
A ton.
Hey, we'll get to it in a minute. James Johnson, that signature's in. You know, that guy never wavered. Visited for Arkansas, but you never like shenanigans at this time of year. And when you have that, you can have shenanigans when your coordinator goes to South Florida. Ohio State lost a commitment from Caden Dixon Wyatt too. So, but going back to Paula, this is. I'm trying to think of anybody who's like him, and I think Eric, you were right on the money. It is Trey Moore because Spence is a little bit taller than Okpala, correct?
I don't think so. Spence is like 6. All these guys are like 6'2". Spence
6'1.5", 6'2s.
Yeah, Okpala, I think is longer than both those guys, arm standpoint. But he's super muscled up, but in like a lean way, where he's not gonna be as blocky as Spence.
Right.
Or Trey Moore. I think he's got better arm length than both. I think his first step is quicker than both.
Yeah.
Yes. Trey, Spence played a lot of defensive end like Okpala, so you can kind of see it. But Okpala he's just different. Spence was playing like a true hand on the ground defensive end a lot in high school. Spence can do a lot of the stuff that they asked for. At Buck, Buck is going to drop into space and all kinds of stuff. He's just so quick off the ball.
Charlie, this is one. I remember you wrote this, I think last year, where these kids, he showed up to a junior day. I think he got an offer at that junior day, and then he still went and camped because Texas is at a point where not only do somebody like Okpala like to compete, but you're also at a point in this program where you got to actually compete to really have that spot saved for you.
No, yeah, you kind of know where your program's at with that. I know Alabama did it for a long time. You may have an offer, but you got to come and earn it. You got to come make it committable and perform at a camp. Let me put my eyes on you in person. And he was one of those guys that did that. Man, just looking at his film, like this is terrific. Like the bend, the get off, man, he has it all. I think he was another kid we saw at the Under Armour camp in Houston. He looked really, really good in drills and fluid at the time. And so now he's just matured more. He's gotten a lot bigger, a lot stronger and faster. Man, this kid's gonna be. I think he's the kid that can steal reps early, like depending, he gets there, how he develops, or whatever the case. But he's situational; he can rush the passer. Man, you can put him in as a freshman. I think he'd be fine.
Before I go, I got to get over to IT and go hang out on the board. Yeah, it can be like it didn't work out with Cecilia Kana, but it can be what they intended with him as a designated pass rusher. He's going to put on weight easier than Akana did, but you just bring him in situationally, and you can play him off ball, especially with the intent to blitz him. But just bring him from different angles. But he's so natural with his bend speed, closing ability, knack to go for the ball. You don't want to take that away from him. All right, guys, I got to go. I appreciate it.
Eric, real quick on that. Hey, never mind. I'll tell you later. Go ahead.
Tell me later. Tell me. Okay, go.
I'm not going to tell you on the air. I'll tell you later.
All right. See you.
Later, Eric. All right, Joe, I got a running list of everyone we covered and all that, so I'll hang out on air with you boys. Our next one.
Put me down to 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have got their letters in that we have not covered. So let's hit – we'll save James Johnson for a little bit later. Let's hit Jet Walker, the running back out of the town of George. Let's see what we got here, boys. Late edition, 10.7 yards per carry. All righty. This was a fan favorite, too, on the board. Everybody was constantly asking about old Jet here.
Yeah. Ton of people were bringing up Jet Walker. And each time, guys, we know about Jet. Good-looking player, good-looking syntax running back. Texas isn't really kicking the tires, but they've had a few. There's going to be some movement in the running back room over the next few weeks, which opened up a new spot. This was going to be a 1 running back class with Derek Cooper. Now it's going to be a 2, and that's when they just brought Jet Walker in. Chad Scott had a previous relationship with him at West Virginia. They carried that over to when he got to Texas, and as soon as Sark and those guys said, Coach Scott, go get you another running back, he called Jet to make the flip.
Yeah. Hey, man, look, this kid can – I like his tape, man. He runs hard. He has that whole high knee action, man. He kind of runs up, but he'll run through something. He'll run away from you too, man. You don't put that many yards up if you can't – if you're not a good running back. And so, I don't know. I like Jet. You got the perfect name for a running back. I don't know, man. I like him. Doesn't have to move far from home on top of that, but, man, yeah. I absolutely love this kid. I know somebody from Georgetown that talks about him, been raving about him for a long time. He's a natural running back. Can catch the ball at the backfield too.
Was he Minnesota too?
Well, West Virginia, then Minnesota. He was gonna go hunting with the musketeer or whatever. Then he was gonna go over to row the boat. Now he's just gonna hang out at Lake Travis.
Yeah, that works.
I'm trying to see in one of their last regular season games, and it's making me sign in, so maybe I can't get it. They played Cedar Park. It was 60-52. So I'm going to see if I can find a box score from that one to see how many rushing yards he actually put together in that game, because that is a crazy amount of points for a high school game.
Justin Wells makes a good point. I think they want bigger backs. I think Chad Scott likes the bigger back. I think Sark is leaning towards the bigger tailback once they're in the SEC. You're looking at 6'1", 6'2" tailbacks, way over 200 pounds. That to me shows a shift in philosophy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't – you keep your numbers that you want to get to, and you're not scaring off the prize of the class. And I think – whenever a running back says, "Oh, I want to be the only back in the class," I sometimes I groan, because it's like, you really have you seen the way the positions evolve these days to where they spread carries around, and you want that? Granted, I know you want those carries, and you just want to split them with guys on campus, but not guys maybe in your class. Still, I think that the fact that they were able to add him to a class that had Derek Cooper was great work all around by everybody. And, I don't know how much commending Cooper needs, because it's not your call, but hey, it was a good thing he was up for it.
Yeah, definitely. He's been running like a bunch of 40 and 50 yarders. They had him in pistol a lot too, which is nice, but he finds the hole well on like the outside zone stuff. He just cuts right in. So I think that's going to be a big factor. All right, that's Jet Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get up next. And then if we run out of LOI signed, we'll just still go through the rest of the class. And whenever they decide to send their letters in, we will be grateful for them.
We're waiting on 5 of them.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just check with you. Wesley, Atkinson, Cooper. Do we have Rocky Cummings?
Rocky Cummings. No, Cooper's been in. Derek Cooper was like the third.
Oh,
Garrett
Cooper's
Cooper's not in yet.
I don't think so. I
I
mean,
don't think so either. Yeah.
Garrett Cooper was the second kid that signed this
That's-
morning.
you're thinking of Samari Matthews.
Third kid that signed this morning.
I can pull back through and look. I have the Twitter up. We had Dia, Samari, Chilek, Jake, the punter or kicker, Jamarian. No, I don't think we have Cooper in
hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, we don't have Cooper in
Well,
yet.
let me go through to make sure since I probably already tweeted it.
But no, he's not in yet. So we don't have Wesley, Atkinson, Cooper, Vodney, Corey Wells, Cummings. Is who I have that have not signed yet. Let's look at Yaheem Riley though. Let's pull up old boy. See where he's at. Yaheem.
I gotta find that edit then.
So I am actually where I live in Austin is zoned to Anderson, and Riley transferred from LBJ to Anderson. And this is LBJ tape because that's purple and black and not blue and gold.
Yeah.
Even so, Anderson had its best football season in a good while this year, and I think it's because they're one of the larger 5As, if I remember right. And the fact that he was playing both ways for them. They also have a good running back who's going to SFA, but he was part and a big reason why Anderson had the fighting Paul Wadlingtons had one of their best years ever.
We talked about Torrey Davis earlier. Like, this is another underrated like DB who can absolutely play a ton of spots in the secondary. Natural ball skills. You can see him at safety. You can see him at star. I like this kid a lot, man. I know he trains with the same trainer that Jade Barron and Andrew Makuba and Michael Taft have, right? So he's working on his craft, but you can kind of see it. He's developing, gotten a lot better. But he had a great senior season. Man, he can play field safety, strong safety. Or you can put him at star. I love this kid's tape. You can kind of see him trigger and react, come down and hit the screen like for 2 yards there. So most kids don't want that contact, but he's absolutely seeking it.
LBJ is a tough program too. Like, I remember they had that big they had that run to the state finals, I think. That's a program that is dedicated. And it's not just, Jamal Fenner from back in who's now Texas high school relations director, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Director of high school relations. Like, that program's still putting out guys and being disciplined and, making the most of it. And Torrey Davis just hit, so let me work on that one.
Yeah, we already covered Torrey, but on the tape part. But I'm glad that his LOI is in now. Let's see, making sure I update him.
You might want to double check that post.
All righty.
What do you?
Yeah.
All right, next one. Let's look up. Let's actually do some James Johnson. That's something I'm excited for. All right. Video
that was
file.
part of the whole flip day at SEC Media Days.
That was a very entertaining day.
All right. This is James Johnson. All right.
Oh, man. So a Northwestern Bull, right? Look, if somebody asked me about his motor the other day, that did he give effort late? Yeah, he's a skilled athlete playing defensive line. He has a motor. Yeah. He gives effort 100%, man. This guy here can definitely. Look, he's ranked number 1 or number 2 in the nation at defense line for a reason. Like, he played down the line of scrimmage. He changes the line of scrimmage each and every time. Plays in everybody else's backfield. He can rush the passer from interior, which is really, really good to see. He's just not a gap player who just tries to hold double teams, but he can do that as well because he's big and strong. But man, I absolutely love this kid, man. He has a great get off. Like, he's one of the rare defensive linemen in this class. And to me, man, he's a game changer from the interior.
That leap he just made to the athleticism to jump and grab that guy is impressive.
I don't think the school in this film that's Red School.
Yeah.
I think didn't he transfer to Teddy Bridgewater's program?
Yeah, from Northwestern.
Yeah, he's a Northwestern now. Yeah.
He just tackled the quarterback and the running back at the same time and brought them both down.
No, he's different. He's different.
I remember
At one
getting
point,
him,
he was
man.
the number 1 D lineman in the country. I think
Yeah.
he's like number 5 or 6 now.
Yeah, Rivals has him right now at number 5.
But he's like Sister Christian. He's motoring. That dude has a freaking engine, man.
Yep. And he just lives in the backfield here, man. Every play. Yeah, I remember that grab. It was unexpected for me, and I was super excited. But was it between us and Georgia at that point or something?
He was committed to Georgia. They flipped him.
Committed to Georgia.
On the same day, they got Atkinson. They got him they did it, spread it out 2 hours apart. When Kirby Smart was walking up to the podium 5 minutes before, he was told James Johnson and Tyler Atkinson are actually both going to Texas and not going to Georgia. And there was some angst.
Oh, that was these guys. That felt like that was last year, but you're 100% right. Yeah, that's when Sark Corleone Kirby, like he's at the mat or the baptism and giving the orders to strike everything. And that's also why Kirby keeps cutting WWE promos after every time he beats us.
He really does do that.
Yeah, he cuts these. They don't even make sense.
No wonder Joe likes him so much.
Yeah.
I think we all said at the same time when that happened, like, yeah, well, wait till we play Georgia in the season. Kirby's gonna have something cooked up for us. I guess it was the 4th down and onside kick, I guess.
Buddy, he did.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. And then he had the logic made no sense in half the stuff he was saying, but it was all good.
I think somebody asked him. There's always somebody at SEC Media Days who asks like a question about recruiting and doesn't realize the rules don't let that you can't name the player. And I think there was somebody who was like, about Atkinson and James Johnson, and Kirby's just up there. Like you could tell it irked him, but he's like, I can't say anything.
Yeah. It's an interesting rule too. I guess I see why, but it's like, come on, man. Everybody, we don't have to deny reality as part of the rules.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely dominant. Huge grab. You worry when he's kind of, he's a Florida kid, didn't seem to be totally in the mix. He was at Georgia. I'm sure NIL plays a factor here, and I haven't seen him a ton on social media. So you always kind of worry about that combination, but really nice to see him get his LOI in and finalized. James Johnson, a really, really important grab in this class, especially if some other things move at DT, which we expect, right, fellas?
Yeah, right now, we're still expecting Vodney Cleveland to flip to North Carolina. I think he's going to announce it at 9:30 today, if I'm not mistaken, or he's supposed to, rather. And then we're really the one we're checking on is Corey Wells. My cousin over in Mississippi, he's been kind of, hem-hawing, flip-flopping. Actually, before Golish was hired, they were kind of done with Corey. They had said, look, you go ahead and go to Texas. Well, Golish gets the job. They're going to keep Durkin. Durkin has a great relationship with Corey Wells and his brother Chris Wells, who is integral into this recruitment. He's got a scholarship offer from Auburn. He's got a preferred walk-on spot from Texas, but Texas is also adding some NIL to sweeten it up a little bit. So Corey Wells, if we see that one come across as Texas, that's a win on signing day that you may not have expected, because listen, that there are only 2 in this cycle, and Corey is really good. Like if you were going to tell me there's 4 committed, you can keep 2. I'm keeping Johnson and Wells. I'm not saying that because of this. I'm saying it because those are the 2 highest upside guys. So that's
he's your cousin, so of course you love him.
Well, I mean, I'm biased. Yeah. I know. I'm biased there, but hey, cousin Corey, he needs to make the right call.
Yeah, do the right thing, man. All right, next up we got offensive lineman, another man from the town of George. Sure, that's how you say his last name. I'm pretty sure. So another late addition to the class. What was the story there, gentlemen? Pancake.
Late senior eval. I think they knew they were going to lose Max Wright a couple weeks ago. They've been recruiting Caden for over a year. He'd been visiting in school for 2 years, but it didn't really amp up until he set the official visit like a month ago, 3 weeks ago maybe. And then the offer, and then it was just a matter of time. And listen, I hate losing Max Wright. one of the most upside kids in this entire cycle, regardless of the Texas class. This is Caden. This is kind of that replacement in a sense. He's a project, but he's got great feet. He's got a good frame, and he was a Stanford kid. This is a smart son of a gun. He even talked to Coach Flood. You know, he's coming in as a tackle. He could play some guard. He's smart enough to play center, and he's cerebral enough to potentially play center. So I like that type of developmental guy where it's not just one position. He's more of a Swiss Army knife. If Caden can get in that weight room, get everything rolling in the next 2 years, I think he can be a contributor.
Yeah, I like him for that sure fact. You commit to Stanford, you got to be smart. And I like those type of guys, but he seems like a program guy, right? The kid that's there 4 or 5 years, going to give it everything he got, and he gets his opportunity, he kind of takes advantage of it because he's going to work hard, right? And so I love that kind of kid. Every program needs one. I think he's definitely a program guy.
Positional flexibility, too, matters with those players, right? If they don't have the clear athletic 5-star, you got to go to this spot. Having that ability to play different spots, being intelligent, working hard, all of those things are what you want to see when you're dealing with somebody who has a longer developmental curve. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's hear a word from my main man, David McClellan.
Big financial decisions don't have to feel overwhelming. There's someone who can guide you every step of the way. David McClellan is a fiduciary financial advisor with Forum Financial, and he's working closely with his clients as a true financial life coach, guiding every aspect of your financial journey with expertise and care. If his name sounds familiar, that's because David was a swimmer at Texas and a member of several national championship teams. Today, he channels that same championship mindset into helping people win with their finances. David specializes in financial planning, and he's contributed numerous articles to Kiplinger on the topic of retirement tax bombs. And right now, David is offering viewers a free intro consultation to assess your financial situation. Do not miss this chance to get personalized guidance from a trusted expert. To schedule your free consult, email David at dmcclellan@forumfinancial.com, or you can call him directly at 312-933-8823. The contact info is in the description.
Where is he on the Max Merrill to Kelvin Banks scale? Max Merrill stole money from this university. he just turned it into a college, just getting his education. So I think this guy will actually, do something. So that's my opinion. If you guys can tell what I think of Merrill's time here,
somewhere in the middle.
Yep. All right. The final LOI we have signed is Jylek. But what he did that was a major misstep. He got rid of his compiled film and deleted them all, and then just has per game tape of like a minute. I'm not going to show it to you. So we're going to discuss him. He's
trying to get those clicks.
Apparently, man, because he's getting the opposite of exposure right now by doing that. Yeah. So I'm not even going to show you the tape because I don't care about like 3 blocks versus whatever school. But whenever I'm trying to remember his tape from watching it, lower rated guy, sure, but he have positional flexibility too? Was he the one playing linebacker as well?
Yeah.
Or am I mixing it?
Okay. Edge, I think.
Okay, linebacker, tight end up there at Portage, Michigan. Look, first of all, he has the best name out of any recruit in his class, so I'll take that off anything, But big kid, man. Look, come in playing tight end for us. He will mix it up. You want your old school northern type of guy who doesn't mind blocking. Kind of, you got one. Like he will stick his neck in there and try to drive somebody off the line of scrimmage. So Charlie's probably another program guy, man. I think that can come in and. Hey, start going to run 12, 13 personnel. There you go. There goes your tight end from up north, man. That doesn't mind. Probably won't even wear any gloves. Just sleeveless. Just come out there and
tight end name. He has a tight end name, like you said. Like that's exactly what it is. I was excited with this tape. People were immediately on the board. Like Homer's going to hate this because it's not a high rated tight end. I'm actually the complete opposite of that. I don't care about the tight end rating. I get furious because the tight end rating 99% of the time is their receiver rating.
Yeah.
I'm the other way, man. Give me 3-star tight ends that are mean and are willing to mix it up. So I was actually really good with this one. People read me wrong on that, but they know that tight end is like my position that I'm obsessed with getting right. So Good grab there by Charlie. If you guys would like to go view his huddle, you can watch each individual game highlights if you guys enjoy that. But and then I did not pull any kicking and punting highlights. Joe, did you do any punter breakdown on old boy? Did he have?
Are you kidding me? Have you seen that?
Did he kick it like you, brother?
Let me press publish.
I told y'all. Sorry.
Let me press.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Is he out now?
I'm pressing publish on that one. What am I thinking?
I threw him off.
Specialist.
You're thinking about specialist, Joe.
Your
specialty.
Jeff Banks and company have gone experience before. I think Mikey Bukauskas could probably punt right away. He's like 6'3", 220. Like he's not someone he's someone who can kick it far. But Texas asks a lot of directional kicking. Collette, no, it's just kind of we'll see. How good is he? And kicking's kicking. Are you good or not? So, I know that Will Stone left and Sanborn's going to leave too. There is currently a preferred walk-on who they have doing kickoffs, Spencer Barnett, who I wouldn't be surprised if he's contending with Collette next year. We'll just see if Texas wants to carry, 2 kickers and 2 punters on their roster. But I wouldn't be surprised if, those guys get an opportunity to play early. And then, you know what? As long as going back to what's his name, Justin Mader from the Herman days, and then now looking at Lance St. Louis, and we'll see if Trot O'Neill. A lot of people, this is the first time they've ever heard those names, which means they did their job perfectly on special teams. So we'll see if Trot O'Neill joins their ranks, and if you're 6'3", 240 or 6'3", 230, you're fine on playing special teams as a freshman as a long snapper.
My kid, unfortunately, is not going to have the genetic profile for college football, so I'm going to get him long snapping immediately, and that's going to be our end.
What is the physical profile for the ideal long snapper?
Just can long snap and a little chunky. I think I think those are the metrics, and I think my kid will be able to provide that.
Pretty big base.
Well, they can't even hit him, so I mean, theoretically, it could be 4 pounds. But I think that's generally I'm going to be the first recruiting service to focus solely on long snapping.
The one thing is you got to be able to tackle, every now and then.
Yeah.
You can't just be.
Who was the one that Texas had that loved to tackle? It was a while back. They had a kid that would come down and pop somebody.
Well, there are schemes that ask the punt or the long snapper basically to just snap and go and be the first one down there. Right. And
I was trying to think if there was maybe boy. I don't know who it was.
It may have been. The reason Boyer didn't make it in the NFL was because he was light. Like, he was 200 pounds. He was good at his job, but
yeah,
you got to be kind of linebacker size, and that's why he didn't stick.
All right, Justin, let's watch some Derek Cooper tape. I think this is senior.
If this is the work in progress, then this is senior.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, it's another
arm. Look at that arm, dude. He's like, he goes so hard with it. You run next to him, you're not going to get stiff armed. You're going to get KO'd if you run next to him.
Yeah, it's a home run threat, man. Look, once he gets the nuance of playing running back at the next level, I think he has a chance to be special. But I think he's one of those kids you give a few carries a game as a freshman, let him kind of learn the game, being patient, running behind the offensive line, because I don't care how good you are, you still got to learn, be patient, set up your blocks at the next level. Unless we're going to run gap scheme, actually. And
he has good, like, it's not just pure open hole straight line. Like, he is making the single cut before on a lot of these, which is something I'm looking for because I get worried when they're point and shoot because really you're just looking at a sprinter, not a running back. But see, he's making some steps there. He's going to need much more nuance. But it's not a big problem with high school running backs is you'll see him just run 80 yards, and they're really just running pure sprints. He is having some quick cuts before he makes those explosive plays, which is a little bit better than I initially thought.
You know what?
He can't stop and cut, but he can shift in gear And to me, that's one of the positives.
Yeah.
Charlie, like this, I remember watching this clip, so it's an awful angle, but like, there's some plays where it looks like they're draw blocking.
Yeah, you can kind of see them. Maybe they're just hinging, and then get
Like
the guys run upfield, and he takes off. It kind of just like that. Or at the same time, it's high school, so you never know. Sometimes these kids they're not blocking at all; they're just getting in somebody's way, and so it may look like draw blocking.
Because I do remember one of the big complaints. See, there's some. I mean, it looks zone-ish. Maybe it's a duo. Who knows? But like, the big complaint about Baxter was on every clip of his highlights, he's following the blocker. And like you were talking about, Homer, just point and shoot, and learning to read where the butts are pointing is a skill you got to pick up. And it's at least we're seeing that from Cooper.
Yeah, a lot of these he's getting to the edge too. He's even like outrunning his blocker, so he needs to slow down a little bit. But this is high school; he can do it. But yeah, he's going to have to absolutely get more nuance. But he has really good contact balance, like you're seeing there.
He does.
That's important. He's a big back, so he's going to have the size. He, of course, has the explosiveness and the speed. He can make guys miss. So, yeah, we're going to need to see it wherever he's at a standstill trying to figure out, like what Wisner was doing versus A&M, the true work of a running back. But good follow there. And he puts his hand on the ground and keeps going. So that's important too, right? Because we're missing speed on the 40 and we're missing yak.
Definitely.
And he's providing that consistently. We're just going to have to see the little stuff going on.
These are some good programs too. Like this is where Jeremiah Smith went to high school. And this is playing St. Thomas Aquinas. This is one of the best teams in Florida. So they are. This isn't playing. This isn't like a case where he's just like the best player in a 70-mile radius. Like he's probably one of the best players in the whole city of Miami.
If you're playing,
drop down the rankings. He's like
competition.
He's like 15th right now for rivals. I'm like.
That was a little off-putting because he had a great senior season. Usually they ascend whenever they do that. He, for some reason, dropped a little bit. Maybe he didn't hit enough camps. Maybe he didn't do enough in-studio videos.
I was going to say maybe he didn't. Yeah, he didn't play the game enough.
Yeah, no, they hold that they'll screw your ranking up if you don't abide by what they want.
Yeah,
true. Ask John Turntine.
Well, you're not going to show me. You're not going to show me 14 tapes that show a more high upside athlete. I mean,
what was funny is that he was considering playing linebacker at Miami. He is physical. We're seeing a guy running away from people. Watch his linebacker stuff. He could play D1 linebacker.
Definitely easy.
This
is like Devontae Freeman to me. The way he runs, it's not herky jerky, but it's just I don't know. He runs with a lot of power and speed. He hits his top end
speed. Is what does it for you. And he's
eyes, man.
Well, I just love running backs that are cutting and making movements while staying forward, like
in motion. Yes.
Like behind the line, I want you to shift on a dime and do some left-right stuff. But I hate when running backs in the middle of the field break down, lose all their acceleration, and then try to juke and they get caught from behind. This guy is gonna, like, as a DB, that sucks. He's running straight at you. He has a two-way go, and he's gonna beat you. It's different if they break down in front of you and try to juke you. You can just kind of dive at them and get them. But he doesn't allow them to do that consistently. And he just, even
Homer,
when he does,
you were talking about like
3 extra yards. Sorry, Joe.
No, you said something about like, I don't like just seeing only running away. But what if he's just like running away 20 times in a row?
Well, that's the thing too, is like, he's clearly, and it's high school, right? He's a dynamic. He's going to run away from guys. What receiver were we talking about? Chris Stewart. I wanted him to set up this safety. He got one-on-one with, and he didn't have to. He just ran right by him. But those are little things. He's going to need to be more polished, of course, in the backfield, especially if Texas doesn't get the offensive line figured out, because he's not going to have those holes to blast through. That's for sure. So it's also in tandem with kind of our struggles. We've never been a great run blocking unit. We need to fix that. And we'll see how that gets fixed. But he's not going to have the same advantages in college with better athletes and also our O-line. So get sharper on the actual work of it. But there's no question here on the tape. His athleticism, his speed, his explosiveness as well, paired with yak and making people miss and continuing runs. Even when he does get tackled around the waist, he's falling forward for 2 or 3. All of that adds up with that game. Okay, boys. I think we're out of LOIs unless one happened while we were watching Cooper. Let's see. Nothing.
I think we're down to 4.
Cool. So we'll just
Have
go
we hit,
look at.
Have we hit Cummings yet?
No, we haven't. So we'll just hit.
No Cummins, no Atkinson,
no Wesley, and then no Vodney and no Wells. All right.
Yeah.
So let's look at Rocky Cummings, who actually wins the name battle. Jet Walker is pretty close. Jilek for a tight end is a pretty good tight end name, but Rocky Cummings, I think, is going to end up taking the cake here. Let me pull him up.
So I'm going to read Greg Biggins, who works with Rivals. Most of, a lot of our background on Rocky Cummings came from him.
Yeah.
And he talked to the Carlsbad head coach. And he said he's a freak athlete. He really is. He can play at a high level on both sides, but linebackers where I think he can be really good. Johnny Nansen was just out here to see him and love him. They liked the film, but wanted to see him in person and meet the family. Once they did, they offered a scholarship, and he's up there right now. And then he said that last May at Under Armour, 6'4", 220, 4.65 40, 7.06 3 cone.
Yeah.
So,
and he's jacked.
You
So
know,
he's
we
been
talk
in-
about
he's been in the
Kosi
weight room.
potentially- We talk about Kosi potentially being an edge. Look how big this kid is. If he grows another 1.5 inches, he's going to have to play edge.
Yeah.
6'4.5".
Yeah, he already looks like an edge whenever you see him on there.
You know what I get a little bit of is a little stiffer Colton. A little better, more athletic Colton Vosick.
Huh.
Like this kid is lean, long and lean.
Oh, there
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is probably lean. You seen his tight end tape? It looks fluid and natural too. So it kind of translates him in space a little bit.
There's a lot of football players in this class. I don't know if we say that very often.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You have wide receiver safety types. You have athletes. You have like these tight end linebacker types, edge
Right.
linebacker. Yeah, which is good. I'm down with that 100%. And he's in Carlsbad. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
and he just sent in his LOI. So perfect.
Hey, look.
There we go.
He knew.
They needed 3. They wanted 3. They couldn't get my linebacker crush, Braden Rouse.
I brought him up earlier, and Eric was like, "Don't even bring him up."
Yeah, don't bring that one up.
My God, dude. Best linebacker in the country. I mean, so beautiful. And then Braylon Hodge flirted with him. They kicked the tires on him, loved him. Well, guess what? So did about 10 other schools all of a sudden. And he's going up there and swimming with the ducks. So there comes Rocky.
That's how the game goes, man.
How it goes.
If he makes a sack and we don't hear the Rocky theme song music in the stadium, communications have failed.
No, they're doing a lot of good stuff now. Diss and Elko. They're doing a lot of good memery.
I think you're right.
So I think.
Do y'all remember? Sark has said this a bunch. Like, I like recruiting players who are playing in state championships and stuff like that. This is another example.
Well, did you just see him cover space there? He had the flats. He got out there quick, and then he related really well to the receiver behind him too, which is not a technical spot. So that's really important too, because I'm looking for how these guys play in space. You know, we're kind of the old school. Everyone's looking to see them, fly up a gap. It's not really linebacker right now, I need to see what you look like covering the flats or the seams. And he was able to do that as well, especially with Joe listing his athletic profile. I think is important too. Like I said, he really muscular kid. So he's spending time in the gym. He's, you don't get that for free, so he's also work ethic can kind of be seen on the body there. And I think that's positive. All right, let's go through our non-updated guys then now. Let's just get it cracking. Do we even want to tease ourselves with Vodney tape?
I don't necessarily think it's necessarily necessary.
Okay.
So, have we done any sort of like?
He's got a T-Rex. He's got the little arms. I don't know if you've ever seen him do the spread here.
Yeah.
It's like he's got the little hand here. But man, he's got a big base and he's a strong, good kid.
Yeah. What were you saying, Joe?
Have y'all done a winners and losers quite yet?
Like which teams win and lost? No, we haven't. We can do that whenever we wrap this tape. We can kind of talk holistically, and we'll be good.
Penn State just lost another commitment.
Yeah,
A four-star safety, 5. The 4-star safety just flipped to Morgantown.
Did you? Some person listed everyone that Penn State is struck out on. It's like 8 or 9 legit coaches.
I don't know why it's Jeff Brom. Go Jeff Brom.
But isn't Sexton punishing Penn State too? That's the rumor?
That would be counter. That's the narrative, but that would be counterproductive because he manages a lot of those guys.
But that's exactly why he can punish.
Spite your nose, like I don't, or cut your nose, spite your face. I don't know.
But I was saying when you have the market rigged and under your thumb, you can actually punish schools like that. So he's one of the few people with the ability to even do such a thing. All right, let's look at Edge Richard Wesley, which is also a weird one. He had a really sick pull commit video in Oregon. And that lasted 25 minutes or something. And then
17 days.
17 days. And then committed to Texas. Is there any worry with him not putting his LOI in? Any scared?
He's in California.
Okay.
He may not have woke up yet. He may be pulling a Ryan Wingo. He's probably still in bed. Man, it's 7:41 in California right now, Connor. I don't think they're they're early risers on the West Coast.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but it's Wednesday, right? The young man should be in
drama. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm reporting Georgia, Oregon, last minute.
Yeah. That's not good. No. Look, this kid reclassified to this class, but he's one of the few that actually can do it, has the size to do it, man. He has some great senior film. He doesn't play a soft schedule out there in Sierra Canyon, but man, this is another guy. I want to see what his body takes him, right? If he's already 245, maybe 250, he's like Carlton. I don't know how big he may get. They may have two guys of the same. Maybe he doesn't slide into a 3-tech like Carlton could, but he has the Ethan Burke position, the strong side defensive end where they kind of, stop, the run stopping defensive end. But he can get after the passer too. So I don't know. I like this kid a lot, man. I want to see how he grows though. Yeah, that strong side edge.
Hey,
those are
Charlie, this is a good little prompt. You talk about Jamari and Carlton. We talked to a source last night close to that defensive side. There's a talk that he's going to start off as edge defensive end, but then they like him to slide inside Carlton down the road on third downs. And so I love that versatility about him because he's gotten better. I talked to somebody that had seen him on the sideline Friday at the A&M game, and he's like, that kid is substantially bigger. Like he looks.
It looked crazy on tape. Just pulling his tape, I was like, I wouldn't even have known that was the same player at all to see that size gain.
Yeah, and now he's got a basketball season ahead of him, but if he's enrolling early, I think that's going to get cut real short.
Yep, he is. Yeah.
That would have washed any bad weight. About a 3-month varsity basketball season would have scrubbed any bad weight.
Yeah, I actually teased him. He has a clip on Twitter of him trying to drive to the hole and then he slips. So I was like, yeah, you got a little too much weight under you now. You can't just drive to the hoop like you used to. But no, he's focused on scoring 1,000 career points in basketball, and he's ready to get to Austin. So,
yeah.
Justin, we started those 9 months ago.
How long have y'all been writing those get to know articles?
For 9 months. For 9 months.
And how many did y'all write that you'll have to scrap without publishing? Oh, through the cycle.
Actually, this year, Joe.
The video, Homer, and actually literally everybody on this row can attest. There are hours and hours of unpublished commit videos that we just do to be prepared.
Yeah.
But with this, it's kind of part of they committed. Okay, let's get the story up, get the video up, and then it's like might as well get to know ready for this. So
there was a run I think in late summer where we had like several that just didn't go our way, and we were like, damn, man,
Connor would keep hitting me up. Do we need a video? And I'd say, no. And he'd say, well, is there a chance that he might flip? And I'd say, yes. And he'd go, all right, I'm sending you the link.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a period there where I was like, damn, man. Because it's annoying to have to edit the video and, have them thumbnails and everything. And then,
hey, I think there's another site in our market that does about 150 of those videos.
Yeah.
Just to proclaim if one does so happen to pop, hey, man, we knew it. We were first. Rock and roll. Now you can delete the other 149 videos that you wasted.
Well, they also, the commits have a remarkable timing. Like as soon as I'm filming another video, they like to commit. They love to commit on my Sunday run. That's when they really enjoy it. The one time where I'm like out of range, they have like I should just act like I'm going to do something because it's going to bring about a commit. I just know it.
Try it.
All right.
For me, it's whenever I'm
they don't
about to
hate
leave
me,
the
brother.
house.
They love me.
it's
you know how I can tell? Because there's guys over there that call me. They love me.
All right. Coach Dub, get on out of here, man.
Yeah. Enjoy signing day. Catch up with you guys later.
Later, man.
Thank you, Charlie.
We only have really 2 more. All right. Let's hit.
I'd like to see Atkinson.
I was going to say.
I want to see, hey, he flipped Ohio State. I want to see Atkinson.
Yeah, I want to see. Yep. And well, you're lucky. You're going to actually see him right here. Linebacker. He was really funny because he was doing all these YouTube videos and people were like, well, maybe he likes this school or that school. I was like, do you see his YouTube videos? He's at like those gyms. He's at like those gyms that cost like $9,000 a month. Like it was, they're not technically in those small town areas. We'll see what happens. But I was like, that guy wants to feel like he's a pro right now. And Austin had a lot of that. Plus, who he's hanging out with was like all former Texas guys, like in his YouTube videos and stuff like that. He was at all of their facilities. That was a hell of a fumble there by 16. I don't even know what happened.
So the thing with Atkinson, and I mean, it was the moment I read, I forget who actually wrote it. I think it was a Rivals National guy, and they spelled the name wrong. And I'm like, hold on a minute. You're saying he trains with Derek Johnson, like the Texas linebacker? And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. So there's a picture of him with Derek Johnson and Anthony Hill and Trey Moore, and like, oh yeah, okay, let's take this serious, like not take this seriously because we were, but like let's put 2 and 2 together to make 4 here, and it eventually did.
Yeah, it was very obvious. Like people were like, I don't know, he could pick Georgia. I was like, no, Georgia doesn't have the ambiance and the vibes that he needed. I mean, those gyms are stupid expensive, man. Like, and they just don't exist everywhere, And then who he's training with on the YouTube videos, Texas guys. Whose gyms he's at, Texas guys. Like, I think the kid likes the lifestyle behind it. You said Ohio State was pushing though, or are you just joking?
No, Ohio State was pushing pretty hard up to about a month ago. I think it kind of petered off in the last couple of weeks. But no, I'd gotten a call maybe a month ago. It's when Ohio State, it looked like they were on like a big recruiting run there for about a week. And they threw a big offer at Tyler. They were trying to push to flip him, but Tyler had made his decision way before. And this is much more than a football decision for Tyler. Like this is a future in branding and marketing and setting yourself up for success. And this kid's already building wanting to put together foundations. And like it's this guy gifted his entire team new cleats and from his sponsors and he just gets it, okay? And I give a lot of credit to his father, Victor Atkinson, who has been so helpful to us at Inside Texas. He has really steered his son in the right direction, and he's never told him anything, where to go or anything like that. He just tells him to get up early, work hard, and do your job. And Tyler, he's a professional. He's one of those young kids that's treating this like he's already a professional. And you know what? When you're getting paid like they are and when you have the responsibilities that they do, you're born an adult anyway.
Yeah, and you are a professional.
And there it is.
He's acting up. Acting up. Dude, I gotta keep pulling guys' tape up because it makes them sign.
That's really valuable. I like
But yeah, dude, just watch his YouTube videos. The kid's already a pro. He's hanging at pro facilities. He's doing pro recovery, pro workouts, like, not just like your high school gym, right? He's doing specialized work.
Right.
And then
Homer, also remember, I've talked to him a handful of times. He treats an interview like I'm practicing for when I do this next year in college.
Yeah.
And then that interview is practicing so when I do this in the NFL next year. This kid's had a plan from day one, man.
And well, he has they had clothing for the acting up thing that Joe put up. And so it was just obvious. Yeah, he wants to be a pro, and he's living like a pro right now. And it's hard to do that in these smaller college towns, even when you have great programs. They don't have that reach. They don't have those facilities. So as people were getting off the trail with him sometimes, like, well, it could be Jordan. I was like, no, just watch his YouTube channel. He's telling you where he's going. And that was the thing. And plus, he knows, too, with Anthony Hill, it's hard to really become a star linebacker nationally. Anthony Hill was able to do that. And so you can also get the notoriety for playing well and all that stuff, too.
Ant helped in that one. You got to give Ant Jr. credit. Anthony was a help in that one, too.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that Anthony Hill, I remember saying, I think he was on the Pivot podcast with like Ryan Clark. I think I made this point the other day. He said something like, you know what? Now that I'm getting paid, like it's a lot easier to go to these 6 a.m. workouts. Yeah. People like getting money's a good motivator. It's not corrupt. There are negative aspects of it in college football, but it's not like corrupt. It's not totally corrupting the sport. It's changing it, but it's a real motivator. Like Colin Simmons doing the I'm getting paid celebration because like games like that gonna get
he's getting paid. Yeah. But it's also too, it's the stakes are different, right? And we still have a little bit of this, aw shucks, don't go hard on him. He's just a sweet little college kid. But it's also now it's like you're getting paid, man. So your expectations and stuff are different too. The fans still have to change that. We still treat them like, they're there for, just the love of the game. And it's different now. And I actually think it's positive. And sometimes it'll lean on a little bit absurd, but it's a good thing, man. Plus, there's plenty of 18-year-olds that make good money out here. I'm from the film industry. There's a bunch of these 18-year-olds that have millions of dollars. You can do it. And then, of course, like MLB, right? There's young prospects there and stuff like that. It's not crazy to treat these kids like pros when they're literally professionally being paid to play the sport. All right, we only got one.
And also, big one thing about Anthony Hill there, how Joe had talked about, that extra motivation when you've got that pay. That kid, Sam Spiegelman said Texas is making a run at Zion Williamson. JW thoughts. A late run. I
thought he was out for a couple months with the Pelicans.
Yeah, I know.
He's too big. He's too big to play wide receiver.
He's also partly actually, I need to make a call on that real quick. I
can see Justin's wheels turning. You want to hop off for a second?
Well, yeah, because someone at Michigan had texted me about it earlier, and I thought they were talking about another guy named Zion, and so I kind of mixed that one up. But let me kick the tires on that one and see real quick.
All right, just take the phone call live on air.
No, I'll be back.
Show who you're calling. Tell us who you're calling.
The guy who he's about to call would probably jump on here. So
yeah.
You want to do? I'm trying to kind of look through on 3 and rivals, see if there's some winners and losers. And it's got to be Penn State.
Yeah, apparently with everything going on today. Let me pull up the class rankings real quick. All right.
Another big winner is Vanderbilt. I don't care if
did they actually get Curtis? Because I saw him didn't he put it out that he was mad that people put it out.
Yeah, but then he signed with Vanderbilt. So that's big. And I remember I made this point whenever Travis Hunter committed to Jackson State. I think something similar applies to Curtis in this scenario where no matter what, I know he won the Heisman at Colorado and he had great seasons at Colorado, but like no matter what on those recruiting rankings, that Jackson State logo is always going to be by Travis Hunter when you look back at the 22 class. And no matter what Jared Curtis does, that Vanderbilt V is always going to be by his name in the 2026 class. So that's obviously a big win.
Well, the whole thing that I was arguing with Clark Lee is like, look, I'm not promoting him or hiring him at another job until I see what the hell's going on, because to me that program is 60% Pavia's soul. And so
and old people.
Yeah, but it's like that's the thing too. We'll bring Jay Star back on. Hello, friend.
That's how you do it. You make a phone call. You get to the root of the message. I'm told that a good Michigan guy of mine, Joe knows him well. It's in the chat. From what he's hearing, and nobody covers Michigan better. It doesn't work that way. From what he's hearing, it's not Texas isn't the one. It's Stanford is the one that is making a late push. And I think Robinson's a Mansfield area wide receiver. I know Texas flirted with him maybe back in the spring, but there didn't seem nothing really came from it. And they've already got, three or four receivers in this cycle. So it would have been surprising at the least, because I haven't heard that name pop up in a while. But talking to a guy, my buddy at Michigan, he says that their Zion is supposed to sign with Michigan, but they're worried about Stanford. They're not worried about Texas.
Cool.
For what it's worth, Sam may be on to something. Give him credit, but another source kind of cut the legs out.
Cool. But yeah, with Vanderbilt, my whole thing was, what are you going to do when Pavia's gone? And then you land that quarterback. So shout out Clark Lee. So sure, Vanderbilt is absolutely a winner here. Man, USC with the middle class here is great, man. 21 4-stars, solid there. Only 1 5-star. Embarrassing.
Damian Winfield.
That is a
5-star. Just so y'all know that.
Yeah, man.
That was a class that was basically built pretty much in the spring. Like those commitments weren't like throughout the fall. Like they came in the spring, and they had a couple guys slip away, but you have 35 and 21 or 4-stars, like you're going to get that number one class. And I know they try to prorate's not the right word, but it applies, like commit. So you don't, if it was just pure volume, North Carolina would be number one because they have like 50 guys. But when you're looking at, all these different, and literally guys from across the country too, addressing a lot of different needs, like we'll see what happens with Lincoln Riley. It's like, okay.
It's tricky because too much volume, if you're just counting volume, can cheat. But the flip side's too, what if I just sign 1 5-star? Well, then my average rating's through the roof, so I can cheat it that way too. So you do have to include some volume, but it can't be volume outweighing everything. So I think Rivals has actually done a good job with that style. And then let's look at average rating here. Let's see what we're looking at.
One thing on USC's class, Emmett Mosley's little brother, Trent, is in their class, and Lincoln Riley throws insane amounts of numbers at wide receiver. I think Texas was interested, but I think he was very, very happy with USC from everything I've gathered about that.
I was going to say their NIL apparatus must be really effective here for the number one class. Notre Dame, look at them, man. Number 2 in the country. Uh-oh. Remember, when Brian Kelly leaves, Notre Dame's going to be in trouble. They're the playoff darling no matter what. They get to sit out conference games, and now they're recruiting. Ooh-wee. 4 5-stars, too, for Notre Dame. Shout out. Oregon, next up, 5 5-stars. Nice. But a smaller class at 21. Georgia doing work once again here, but only 1 5-star, but they're going to coach those 4-stars and 3-stars up. Bama, Ohio State, then Texas with 3 3-stars, a smaller class too at 25. So winners here have to be obvious in SC and Notre Dame, right? Losers.
I'm surprised. Joe was right. Like USC built this thing super early. And usually when we see that, it's hard to maintain that over the course of the entire cycle. The fact that they did, man, tip your cap. That's impressive. That's hard to do.
Yeah. Who do you think are the losers besides Penn State?
South Carolina may be a loser in a little bit. Looking at something from Wiltfong, just because, like, they remember that Landon Duckworth kid,
the quarterback.
Yeah, he took a visit to Texas, not because I think Texas was all that interested, but just because with the 7-on-7 program.
Right.
Longtime South Carolina commit, and Wiltfong's got something where he may be flipping to a different SEC team.
I thought Texas Tech was going to be top 3 with how they were talking on Twitter. They're doing great in the portal. Texas Tech, they're recruiting, their whole thing was like, we're coming, and they're still ended up 20th.
Well, but did you understand that's a milestone for those guys in Lubbock.
Program, but I would have thought they would have been top 3 with how everything was going on.
I was about to say, if you with a number 20 ranking at Texas Tech, that's like a number 1 ranking in like normal college football recruiting.
Well, they got to be number 1. They're number 1. Well, it's all relative too, right? They're number 1 in the Big 12. That's all that really matters.
Oh yeah, by miles.
So, yeah, so it's relative. Like they're going to be not the most talented in the Big 10 or the SEC, but all you got to do is be the most talented in your conference.
Hey, somebody asked Joey McGuire the other day, would he prefer playing in like a bigger conference like the SEC or something, to try to make sure they get an opportunity to maybe get a better spot in the playoff or things like that. And I just thought, who in the world would ask that? And Joey gave the most honest answer. He's like, no, he sounded like Dan Hawkins at Colorado. This is the Big 12. He was loving on it, which I don't blame you. Why would you leave a conference that you have a potential to outspend and out-recruit the other of those mid teams? Joey, they didn't go anywhere, but I thought it was such a silly question.
Yeah, and especially the proof is in the pudding, right? And so, and all they had to do, it's not like Joey became an elite coach overnight. They just got talent and immediately shot to the top of the Big 12 like that. So it's a talent league, And I like Joey. I'm not knocking him.
This was a perfect storm for Joey. They had a lot of they had some underclassmen that were kind of getting developed over the last couple of years. They've done a good job with those skill guys, with Jacoby Williams and Josh Cameron and Baron Morton. When he's healthy, he can be a gunslinger too. The biggest thing for them was just getting bigger. They got bigger on the defensive line. It's amazing how good your program gets when you add some defensive linemen.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking Joey. That's the name of the game. But it's like that just shows you it's a talent game.
All right, I've got some just kind of scrolling through the classes. I've got some winners and losers. Winner, U of H. You got Keyshawn Henderson. That's I don't care what you're ranked when you got that guy. You're gonna have guys come home to Houston and be like, you know what, I need to come back and portal back. And then you can add guys like that from the Houston area and Paris Melvin, who I think Texas kicked the tires on, but didn't pursue that intensely. Still a really good player. A loser at this point, I know things may change with what happens with one of Texas commits, but Auburn only has 13 guys in that class. So and they lost one of their better defensive back prospects. Huge loser, Baylor.
Oh man,
they kept Aranda to keep some of the class together. They stated that, and then immediately Michigan and Texas took their top guys.
They lost all the Jamarians, or at least the good Jamarians, and I think they had 4 Jamarians in their class.
They have 12 players in their class, which is horrific.
So the fact that you keep Aranda to invest in the program, and of course the athletic director situation is going to make that so wild that you're just not going to be. That's a power vacuum that you may not want to leave up to boosters and president, but it's just a bad situation. And then Nebraska, you know how many commits they have? 10.
Where are they at?
Well, I feel like Matt Rule is in more of a portal mindset now, anyway. But I feel like that's what he's been for the last few years.
They're ranked 85th. And their highest ranked, they have 2 guys in the top 150, and then everybody else is 600 or higher.
Yeah,
I've got one for you, and Josh, you kind of stole it from me a little bit, but I'll give you this. Would you trade Texas O-line haul with SMU's O-line haul? Because I would.
I'd think about it.
Who all did they get besides Wright? I don't pay attention.
Drew Evers.
And I think they got Samuel Utu, the 4-star from SC. And there's another one on there, man. They signed an outstanding offensive line in Howland Park.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about let's talk about Texas. So why are they 7th? Potentially lower with flips. Is it money needs to go to the portal this next season? Why is Texas in the top 3?
That's the focus. Yeah, they're still always going to go for their high end guys. Then they're going to get their 4-star guys that are going to could be early contributors, but aren't going to cost a ton. And then you got your developmental guys. They've hit on all 3 scales, I feel like, in this cycle. And so and that's what you want to do. Like most fans, they're used to that top 3 finish. They had a number 1 finish last year. I had a dozen fans, I know, texting Joe too, talking about what's wrong with the class. Number 7 class is still pretty good. And then you look at the needs they filled outside of offensive tackle. They filled a ton of needs. And that's really what you want to do cycle to cycle. But they're going to be big in the portal this year. They've pick and choose the last few years, kind of filling in the blanks. They're going to have to do a little bit more than that with the portal this year. And I think that's why they're allocating more money or being ready to go in that direction.
Well, it's tough in the modern era, right? You can have millions of dollars just sitting on that bench for a year in the recruiting world, and when you can employ those resources far more effectively to get a junior who can play now. So it's also just changing the calculus here. I mean, and having the number 1 class last year is a little bit of a hint too, right? You got money on the bench right now, so you just can't keep stacking cash that's not ready to play today when Texas doesn't make the playoff and all of that. So money's got to go somewhere else, and I'm all good. What's the webpage trying to say?
Rankings.
It's just recruiting rankings. This just ranks the classes. All right, we got one final guy that we haven't discussed, so we will discuss him, and it's Corey
Diabell.
No, we discussed Diabell. Corey Wells, and this will be the final because we're not going to discuss old Vodney. We're going to go with our
good tape. This is good tape. He's so big. He's an anchor, man. He's a nose. Oh, he's on the Byron Murphy, Tavondre Sweat diet.
Where's what state is he in?
Mississippi. Pedal is just outside.
Look at him running down the line there.
Yeah, he's playing zero technique too.
I'm with the Tavondre Sweat thing. Like he's a big and he's bigger than Tavondre now. Like he's 290, I think. And
Tavondre was 245 coming in.
Yeah. When Eric went to go see him, it's like 250, and then all of a sudden 4 years later, he's 100 pounds heavier.
He's drinking 10 sugared Gatorades a day and never calculated that into being calories, which was my favorite Tavondre Sweat story.
I know that feeling. But I mean, he is, and he's also, he doesn't know how good he is. That's the other thing. Like, I remember talking to him after his official visit, and he wanted to say, like, I'm committed. Because remember, when he committed, all he did was change his Twitter bio. Like, he didn't like post an edit or anything.
That's very Mississippi.
Yeah, somebody was.
It happens like once a cycle.
Yeah, and he's like, "All right, here's the the Twitter bio change. Is this true?" And I think when people called him, it's like, "Yeah, of course I am." And that's just part of like he doesn't understand how good he is.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get those Mississippi cats that are like that, man. That they have there's no glitz or glamour to their recruitment.
So the fans understand kind of where this is at. Long-time Texas kid, in a sense. He's got a brother, 2026 linebacker named Chris Wells, and my other cousin. But he's not a 4-star, so I don't pay as much attention to him. He's got a full scholarship offer to Auburn to join Corey. And then Texas has been on the phone with him for the last 48 hours. He's got a preferred walk-on spot at Texas. But in the NIL era, you can help out. You can sweeten that just a little bit. And so I think that's what Texas has done in the last 48 hours. And that's why we're kind of in a holding pattern right now to kind of see what they do. Because Auburn not only kept Durkin, they kept their D-line coach, who had also been, I think that was announced last night. So that's another guy that he was close to. But the key in this one, I've heard the key is the NIL. And so if they can, Corey's got a great package from Texas. If Chris's is comparable to what some of the other schools are trying to do, I think he sticks. If it's not, I could see him going to the Plains.
Yeah. Unfortunate because this kid's a baller.
Oh man, dude, he's just a naturally big boned, strong, good kid. He's got a good personality. He's got a good attitude. Doesn't say a whole lot.
That's what you like.
Like I said, I see him at the holidays, and I can barely get anything out of him.
He's you like that in a nose tackle. All right, gentlemen. I was gonna say any overarching stuff. We've ran through all the tape here. So, are there any big overarching stuff y'all want to talk before we get out of here?
Well,
Go ahead, Joe.
The holes in this class that we've talked about inform the portal needs, and of course, the holes on the field for Texas inform the portal needs too. But it may not be this cycle; it may be next cycle. Because remember, they took think of Murad Watson, that was to help reset the 2023 class. I think I don't know. Sark talks about how you feel you can get best player available. You can address, guys leaving, or you can address misses in recruiting from those classes and, fix that. So this is going to inform portal needs, whether that's this upcoming portal cycle, probably, or even the one next year.
Well, I was going to say, you pay for some of these 3 years later. And so that's what they have to be aware of too. Justin, you look sad, man. This is the thought of losing Wells potentially.
I'm nodding off a little bit. I'm just, I didn't go to bed till late, and then Joe was texting me at 3:30 in the morning because I only sleep every couple hours anyway. I've never slept through a whole night. Not since I was a kid.
You're old school, 1700s, where people would get up in the middle of the night and just.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do, and so. Joe's texting me at 3:30 talking about John Rothstein. We sleep in May kind of shit. And so, no, I'm on fumes, man. Our staff, man, I want to give Joe Cook a ton of credit. He gets everybody lined up. He gets everything organized. He gets everything set to where all we got to do is punch in the words and press publish. Man, our staff is incredible. Eric leads the way. Charlie has been killing it with evals. Connor, you're the greatest producer in the history of YouTube. I'm just thankful for my team. I'm thankful for this day. I'm thankful that it's almost over because we put so much into every cycle, every year. And when I wake up in the morning, we're going to go full board for the next 12 months, all in on the class of 2027. It never sleeps. It never stops. And that's why you got to come to Inside Texas right now.
Let's start again. Let's start anew.
One thing. What do y'all think Sark's going to talk about today?
I don't know. Because there was not a lot.
You better ask him about the offensive line, because if you don't hold him accountable for that, you're going to have hell to pay on the IT members board. Somebody at some point has got to stand up and go, Steve,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? Remember that Kelvin Banks, Cam Williams, let's go back to that. And you know what? You got a guy down the road, Kennedy Brown, who could play as a true freshman at most D1 colleges. Caden Scott, San Antonio Roosevelt. There are some boys in this class in 2027. They cannot screw up offensive line again. It's like they've punted 2 years in a row. You can't punt again, or I feel like it'll be a change on staff.
For sure. All right, Joe. So you got your marching orders. Just read. Justin Wells said, "What are your reactions to Justin Wells?" That way you can shirk responsibility. You didn't say it. All right, guys. You know where you can go. $1 for your first week. Inside Texas, new members only. Recruiting, all of that. If there's any fliposity, any changes, this is where you can track what's going on with the Longhorns. We'll see about that press conference because it's just going to be yep. So we'll see how it goes.
Used to do those really well, Connor.
Who?
Mac Brown.
And he was already done.
Go player by player, and he could tell you all about his family, all about their cousins, how he got to know his coach, who was his brother's basketball buddy at an AAU tournament in Cookeville, Tennessee in 1973. Mac Brown used to go through every single recruit and give you a little story. He knew the details of all 25 every cycle, and I was always impressed with Mac when he did that.
Mac has that politician mind in a good way where he remembers the family. He remembers, I remember your little sister. And it's oh, man, Mac Brown loves me. He does a great job with that. Before we go, hey, anybody to watch in the late signing day?
Always, Justin. Always. We got some guys we're paying attention to. The only way to keep up with that is you got to come to InsideTexas.com, get that new promo. We're working it well right now. We've got a lot of stuff in the fire. We're actually looking at a few other players that could potentially be in this class. It does not stop. Come see us. Refresh regularly.
All right, y'all. This was the National Signing Day Live. I enjoy doing these. These are long, but I enjoy going through the class and getting a real good feel. So everyone have a wonderful day. Of course, tune in to Inside Texas for any news that breaks for the rest of the day. Did you have something? Oh, you were just agreeing, Joe. Sounds good.
Joe's tapped out.
Yeah, we're tired. But this was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Later, y'all.